Game number 1 of the day, Towers of Doom, everybody. Another Heroes of the Storm best of 5 at the Masters Clash. It's Playday number 8. The second half of the season has started. Therefore, we're going into the rematches. All of these teams have played against each other already once, as we're still going through the regular season. Today we see Chili Mountain against Go Next. And the last time that those two faced off against each other, Chili Mountain completely wrecked the opposition. They took it with a 3-0. But ever since then, the season has changed a little bit. First of all, we have on the side of Go Next now a setup where with 0, they have a player that the last time, if I'm not mistaken, didn't play for them yet. So they strengthened the lineup a bit. And they, of course, have more ambitions right now, whereas Chili Mountain has started to struggle a bit in the first half of the season. So today, they got to bring it back somehow. The bans have also started to shift. If you watched yesterday's games, you're probably not surprised to see that not only Sonya, but also Hogger is getting addressed here now that we're heading into Towers of Doom. And that, of course, means that a couple of heroes are also not being banned out here. Now, with that being said, since we are talking about, for example, Uther, that normally has a ban position, I have to point out that there are a few interactions with certain talents that caused more bugs that just popped up over the last couple of days, and it resulted in several talents being banned. So how Masters Clash usually handles bugs that come up, they just say, hey guys, the hero is still allowed, you can pick him, it's not a problem, but the talent or the talent interactions that exist are not allowed to be banned or abused, or you will immediately lose the game. And Uther is one of those examples. There is a bit of an interaction with one of his level 1 talents and the level 16 Benediction that you cannot pick. So if you go, in this case, for Wave of Light on Uther, you're not allowed to pick Benediction, but you can still play the hero as long as you don't use that interaction. There's a couple of others. It's also one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of W style on Falstad, just in case that people were wondering. I talked about it in the past, but I want to highlight it again here. Banana H doesn't hesitate though. Once that the picks come in, he immediately jumps on Uther. Now, there's of course a couple of others that also have not been banned out here. Chromie is another one to mention, and we still have Medivh up. But the first thing that happens is that Cassia gets picked. The ban on Deathwing might also surprise a couple of people, but Blade has been playing a ton of Deathwing and has been playing him very reliably. He's also a total pest when you play him on Towers of Doom, because he can easily interrupt any kind of channel on the altar, so they're getting rid of that too. And here comes the Medivh ban. Yeah, it's a late ban on Medivh, but if you have Muck on the other side and Diablo's already picked for his team, then you don't want to give him the opportunity to set up an Apocalypse with a good lane line. So that was a very, very good ban here on the side of Go Next for sure. Interesting also that Gia, of course, picked Diablo. That means that Uther doesn't act as a main tank, and then you add the second support on top of that too. But we're going to see Banana H with an actual support Uther on that side. Whereas Malfurion has been picked for Go Next, as they are also now going to try to just lock a target down a bit. And since Garrosh's banned, you can still think about the traditional comps that you are playing with Malfurion, either going to Nuburak, going to Varian, can play the same style with Stukov as we've seen over and over and over again. But if you're looking for quick kills, that's the way to go. But of course, there's a lot of other playstyles available. And with Jojo and Dehaka being picked, you can see that they are very much so focusing on the wave clear right now. But we had a pretty solid start into the second half of the season here with yesterday's games. And if you haven't watched it yet, then I recommend highly that you are heading over to the YouTube channel and check out the match between Team Soundless and the Hardos. That one was crazy. I mean, honestly, that was insane. That game was just absolutely nuts. If you haven't watched it yet, if you couldn't catch it live and you haven't seen the VOD, then make sure that you pause the video right now, head over and bookmark that for later, because that one was incredible. So here's the birdie as Macke picks one of his favorites these days. He goes again into Falstad, and we got Leo for the rotation between the middle and the top lane, trying to get all of that wave clear in. That leaves us with the last pick for Go Next, and as we're heading in on this one, what are they going to get? Need a little bit more damage. Need to come in with a bit more than what they currently have. And since Sylvanas is their only range damage dealer at this point, I expect we're going to get a second one. And that is Tychus. Yeah, that sets us up, everybody. Game number 1 in our series. More Heroes of the Storm with the Masters Clash. Towers of Doom is our first map in the best of 5, as we are heading into the battle between Chili Mountain and Go Next. Game number 1 starts us off with Backhold on Leoric for Chili Mountain here on Towers of Doom. Banana H on Uther. Azurite on Cassia. Falstad is played by Macke. We got the Frequent Flyer in on level 1. Also the Devil's Due for Diablo. And as you can tell, Gia is playing the hero. On the right side of the map, what do we have? We got Wit on Jojo. We currently got Skynox in on Malfurion. Blade is playing Dehaka. Zero on Tychus. And Kelvin is playing Sylvanas. Alright, so let's get this party started here and see what they can actually pull off at this point. And if Go Next is able to win one today. It would be kind of neat, of course, for them if they can do that. But let's go. Stacking coming in from Cassia. We got also the Emerald Dreams for Malfurion. And just a bit of a skirmish here at the beginning. In the middle, nothing too insane. Trying to slow the rotation down a bit by Malf, but that's about it. Yeah, and down to the bottom of the map, here's of course the 4-man that's currently reigning supreme. Our side laners have already taken to the top lane. A little bit of a Diablo stun as they're trying to come in and help out here. But the setup is a pretty nice one. There's a lot of CC available on both sides. We have, of course, the stun from Uther. Diablo is coming in with his own setups. And then you get the slows from Leo that can really play a role here. Falstad, the global, will have a bit of an impact whenever we have multiple altars spawning on the map. Especially, of course, during the triple altar phases that we have in the 1st and the 5th rotation. Banana H eats the grenade here, already a bit low. And Dehaka coming in with the enhanced agility as the level 1 talent. Going up against Blade topside as he has to deal with Leo now. And of course with the camps now being up, let's see what exactly they're gonna do with that. No invade, everybody just like taking it, easy peasy. Yeah, no problems there. It's a little bit of a slow approach, honestly. Oftentimes these days you see that one team, when they feel that they have the better 4-man setup at the beginning of the game, they will make a play for the opponent's pumpkins and trying to come in and steal them, but not so in this one. Everybody is just playing it safe and sound. Nobody want to risk anything. Chili Mountain comes into this series as a favorite, but as the first half of the season has shown, those teams are still fairly close in the standings at least. But Gia is coming in, trying to set that up. Nicely done by him, but there's just no kill happening just yet. And as he's running into Tychus, he also needs to be careful, because with the bigger they are, as the level 4 choice, that's going to chunk down the hit point pool of Diablo very, very quickly. Now with Devil's Due and some control over the globes, it can be mitigated, but still, this is going to punish him pretty hard if he doesn't pay attention here. On level 4, we not only got the hammer gains, but we also got the life leech in for Diablo. So pretty similar setup with the auto attack sustain from both of the characters. And Uther going straight into the silver touch on level 1. Banana H down here, I mean, again, one of the best supports that we probably have these days. Already the 4-man still wreaking havoc, and the experience globes all get soaked, so nobody's losing anything. We still have both teams on level 5. But nobody really has taken a lead here, and this is when the first objective pops up, which should lead to pretty much the first fight of the entire game. Because so far, we haven't really seen a whole lot of action between them. We got globals on both sides that can now just simply channel the top left, top right, and then join the fun down here. But at least for now, we are just seeing people gather. Shots are being fired as expected, as Leo and Dehaka have taken to the top left and top right. But now it's party time. Time to see what these two are made of. Falstad is already in the middle of the map, trying to burn the next wave down. The intention here is, of course, to get enough experience for an early level 7, so that you have an upper hand. At the bottom, there's still a bit of a skirmish happening. If Gia gets locked down, that would be an opportunity for Zero to get the bigger they are through and get some damage connected here. Right now, we don't have that. And off we go. Here comes the push, and they go for Skynox, and they take him down. Skynox is dead. Nicely done. Level 7 talents are kicking in for both of the teams. Marke is still trying to stutter step around Blade and avoid the tongue. And so far that was successful. The burrow has already been triggered. They're trying to get Marke into a position where he can channel. And he should be able to get this one through. Blade was hoping to interrupt, but was very quickly cut off. And that is another 4 shots fired as Skynox makes his way back onto the map. 1 kill, 2-0, and a lead in points on the core for them. Yeah, well played. Good job. So with that, we currently have our secret weapon in for Falstad. And of course, in addition to the Surge of Light, the Plate of the Whale, the grenade build has been continued by Tychus. Nothing really too shocking. You got the Lost Soul though, and also the Unstable Poison. Talking about unstable, Blade is going down. Dehaka is dead. Didn't like that too much. They're trying to go for the counter kill against Gia. But Sylvanas, yeah, Kelvin, he had an opportunity to jump on the wave and try to get the kill, but he would have probably been punished for it, so he didn't go for it. Instead, there's the slow on 0 as he was trying to go to the top side. Maka was a bit too late to barrel roll over and into range so that he could push some extra damage on him. We got 12 stacks now on Falstad, 21 for Cassia. And here comes the collapse into the mid lane again. The drag connecting with a birdie, but Maka is able to get away. The problem is that Banana H might not be able to get out, but since Backhold and Gia are both joining up, the frontliners are able to cover for Uther, and that keeps him alive. Jojo has to proc trades that she can get out, and that leaves us with the next objective. But we already have a very significant lead in experience for Chili Mountain because all of these rotations helped them to push these waves in a bit more aggressively. And here's the level 10. And with that, we have a solid lead for Chili Mountain that should result in them channeling another 4 points on the bottom altar. There's just no way that the red team is fighting into this without having their own heroic abilities. We got the Divine Shield for Banana Age, the Mighty Gust for Falstad. Apocalypse is also in. And there's the shots fired as we have a bit of a fight in the middle of the map, and Kelvin is in trouble and goes down. Kelvin down, Gia also getting attacked, but everybody else at the bottom of the map is trying to focus on Tychus and hoping to get a kill against him. So far unsuccessful, I might add. The fight in the mid lane, on the other hand, has started up again as Blade comes through with an Entomb. And, well, there's the kill. Well, Spackle, of course, that dropped the Entomb. Blade was the one caught with it and was trying to turn it around by connecting the drag, and that didn't really work. They finally got their level 10, but this is exactly what I've been talking about. You don't want to fight against an opponent that has heroic abilities when you don't. So now we got also the Blessed Shield through. We also have at the same time the Mind Control from Sylvanas. And here we go. Banana H, yeah, goes for the Divine Shield. And it's party time. Oh, yeah. There's so many bad jokes, guys. Like, people have been telling me, especially yesterday, that I'm just going for, like, more dad jokes than ever. And honestly, I'm holding back. I'm really trying to hold back here. There's just, like, so much stuff that comes to mind immediately. And I always have to pace myself a little bit. And it's like, yeah, no, that's too much. That joke is so bad. Not even I can go for that. Not even the Germans are allowed to make jokes that are this horrible. Anyways, now that we have the Entomb dropped on Uther, that's a perfect stun, Malfurion. Nicely done, and that's obviously perfect. If you have a combo between like Leo and Uther, Leo and Uther is also kind of neat, but I'm also talking about Leo and Diablo, then you can set up the Entomb and then stun a target into the Entomb wall. It's kind of sexy, and it's exactly what we saw here, and it is what led to the kill against Malfurion. So that was a neat start. And overall, we got 6 kills to 0 now. So at this point, Chili Mountain is playing Farm Simulator right here. It's kind of crazy. They're doing fairly well. I mean, this is a nice lead. They are not only a level ahead, a bit more than that even. They have a 6-kill lead. They have a talent advantage at this point. The shots are coming in more and more as they're channeling the additional altars. And down here, they're chasing the Birdman again. And Malfurion is down, gets caught. And that's going to be the end of the Bell Tower. Yeah, Chili Mountain. Maybe the second half of the season is going to be a little bit better for them. Now, to be fair, they already won with a 3-0 in the first time that these two teams met in the first half of the season. But, of course, you always want to get a bit more ahead here. And in this case, it would be kind of nice for them if they would start to catch up with Team Soundless in particular, who currently holds the number 4 position in the standings. So they're in the top 50% right now, which is something that very few people, myself included, would have predicted at the beginning of the season. But now that we're heading into this, Marker is still controlling the flow quite nicely. The damage output that we're currently seeing is reflecting that too. He's sitting at 16,000 in hero damage, 50,000 in siege damage. Has been, of course, controlling the game also a bit with his macro abilities here to soak experience for them. We got 28,000 for Tychus. Malfurion with 3,500. A bit of a sad moment for him. Died 3 times already. Finally, there's level 13 talents for Go Next. The problem is that Chili Mountain is already having their eyes on the 16. That's going to kick in soon. Double altar on the map, and with 5 bell towers to 3, thanks to the bot lane control, Azerite is still pushing this out. And it could technically drop the core down to 11 points if Go Next loses both of them. Instead, they're trying to gank up on Backhold, who simply Wraith walks out, but might still die, and indeed does, as Tigers gets the grenade connected. Now, the problem, of course, is that Leo is not gonna need too much time to be back on the map. I highly doubt that Chili Mountain can channel both of the altars. They might, but I think it's unlikely. And they're already abandoning that idea too. They're realizing that 16 is way too close to the blue team, so the talent advantage would just be too much to deal with. Instead, they're firing 3 shots, but they, of course, get pretty much murdered over here with the 5 that are connecting on their own bell tower. So that puts them down to 16 points as we speak. Yeah, here comes Benediction. As I mentioned earlier already, Benediction is not banned per se. Oh, well, nice combo. Here they go. Trying to make the play for Tigers. He pops Odin and nearly dies, but thanks to Malfurion, he's still alive. But as I was just about to explain, so Benediction itself is not banned. It is not allowed to be picked if Uther goes for Wave of Light on the level 1. Isolation getting cancelled here by the perfectly timed Divine Shield, and now they're isolating Blade. The Entomb is out. Damn, he is getting completely murdered. Holy hell. No chance for him. The amount of control there was crazy. But instead they focus on Diablo, and finally we got another kill for Go Next. That's the second one. Diablo and Leo both died once, but the fight continues, and Wit dies too. 9 kills to 2. 2 levels ahead still. What a setup here. This is getting a bit crazy. Yeah, also, since people are always talking a bit about, hey, what else is actually not allowed right now, there's also a couple of bugs with Tracer, for example, and therefore Tracer is allowed to be picked, but you're not allowed to take the Dragon on Dragonshy with her or pilot the Protector on Volskaya. If you pick the level 4 of Tracer, is that a health pack? So that's a couple of the restrictions. It's very specific, but again, there's like a couple of specific bugs out there with certain talent interactions, and instead of just banning the hero out completely, they're just banning the interaction itself. For most of those, it doesn't even matter because the talents aren't even meta, but there are a couple that are currently being played in certain builds, so you have to point it out at least. But it's just better than banning the hero completely and then shutting down team compositions and other stuff. Big shots fired, down to 6 points on the core. Triple altar phase, and they got just a couple of easy picks here. 2 altars already in the hands of Chili Mountain. Falstad at the bottom of the map. He's escorting in a few more pumpkins. The Divine Shield, nicely timed, perfect by Blade. That tongue was incredible. Just as the Divine Shield duration is over, that hits, but now a few more shots are fired. The core down to 3 points. Sylvanas at least is channeling the top right, but you can already tell that this is dire straits for Go Next. Yeah, 30 points, 2-3. Now, they're going for boss, which is definitely something they need to do. They need to not only take it and try to remove some points of Chili Mountain, the more important part is you need to take it away from your opponent as a potential way to end the game. So that was a very, very important grab. It fires an additional 4 points over here, puts them down to 26. But the situation is still fairly bad. We have seen crazy comebacks though on this map. I mean, this is the comeback map. There's no other map in the pool that is as famous for the comeback potential as this one. IGN would definitely rate it 6.5 out of 10, I'm sure of it. But let's see. The quest on level 1 is completed, and maybe that's going to help them a bit. They're already retaking the bell tower at the bottom. Of course, if there's a single altar still channeled, and then it's just game. And I gotta point out that with Uther having the Divine Shield, they could literally just cheese the shit out of them. Start the channel, and then if Uther times the Divine Shield properly, they can simply use that to end the game and connect the single altar. That's all that they need to do here. And of course, it's not only Uther that is going to be a bit of a problem in that particular setup, because you also have Falstad. So you can start with a Gust, start the channel, Gust with Falstad, and then use the Divine Shield and literally make it impossible for the opponent to defend both of the altars. So that could happen here. That's something that is definitely a possibility at this point. And we'll see if they can actually make that work, or if they just go for the team fight. I mean, both is possible here. But right now, you can already see the Ghast a little bit early, trying to save Gia, so they're not going for the super cheesy setup. But here we go. Divine Shield would end the game. There it is. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Divine Shield, a little bit cheesy, nothing crazy. I mean, again, totally fine into action here. And that is the 1-0 lead for Chili Mountain against Go Next as they slap around the red team on Towers of Doom.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Alright, game number 2, Alderac Pass is the map. Let's go. Chili Mountain against Go Next, and game number 1 didn't go well for Go Next. Nope, they got slapped around pretty hard, so Chili Mountain came in swinging, and that was a bit of a beatdown. It was a statement. And Alderac Pass is the next map. Obviously, it's the map choice of Chili Mountain. You probably guessed it if you watched the first half of this season. Because actually, now that I think about it, I feel no other team that picks Alderac Pass as reliably as Chili Mountain does. To an extent, but I believe the map was banned a few times against them because nobody wanted to deal with it. So, yep. Here comes the ban on Sonya. Ooh, do we get a Hogger first now? Actually, we could see Hogger by getting banned. Sonya's already banned. Zeratul gets banned too, okay. Interesting. Zeratul banned this early? Yes, Chili Mountain plays Zeratul. At the same time though, if you ban him this early, that's always a little bit suspicious. And I'm always thinking like, what are you trying to pick here? Hogger gets banned as well, so Sonya and Hogger are both eliminated, which once again leaves Uther up, by the way. So, yep, Uther is also here. Okay. I mean, Uther is up. Chili Mountain could still go for a setup around Medivh. Chromie is also available. You got a lot here. Like, when we compare bans at least, this is completely different from anything that happened in the last couple of days. And with the Cassia first pick, there is just so much of what Chili Mountain could do. I mean, honestly, at this point, the world's your oyster. What comp do you want to go for? Something with Medivh, Diablo, or just simply a Medivh setup? Hey, here you go. You want to head into any kind of nasty arrangement with Uther and a Chromie even? You can also do that. I mean, there's tons available here. An early Malfurion pick to maybe throw in a Tracer at some point. Whatever you want to go for. Okay, they want Diva, and they're also getting Uther. Once again, worked well on the last map. And let's see what they can get here. Okay. I'm always curious on big maps like this if we're going to see an Abathar, if we're going to see Vikings maybe, because those are the heroes that you want to play in a big map if you're trying to throw a curveball to your opponent. If you're really thinking, okay, we can't beat them in a straight up fight, we're trying to do something else, we're focusing maybe more on macro, then those are heroes that you at least consider. Now, if you're playing on Alderac Pass, others that come to mind are Dehaka, Falstad, everybody that just gives you any kind of global presence on the map is really solid. And of course, you're also always thinking about the bosses a little bit. So there's a lot that you can tactically do here. With them going into Ana and Jojo right away, I don't hate it, but I really want to see how this draft comes together for them. Rexa gets banned quickly, and Ana is a little bit out there, but we've seen a lot of Eye of Horus plays, of course, recently too. So, we'll see. Yeah, what do you ban over on Marcus' side? Medivh is still up. You still have Medivh up. And Marke can always play that. It's one of those annoying things. You have someone on the other side that can play the Medivh, but doesn't have to, you know? It's like, these days, Medivh is not necessarily an insta-pick anymore. He's still very, very strong. But it's not like you are gonna see him picked right away. A lot of teams are now a bit more willing to let him go, since we have a lot more heroes in the pool that are good dealing with portals. Some of them have been buffed. Malfurion is a good example. So you have a lot more tools where you can say like, hey, if Medivh gets picked, we're going to deal with the portals, we're going to control them, we get Junkrat, we get Medivh, we maybe play with Lucio here. We're going to play with any kind of hero that is able to control that portal and make sure that these ganks are not going to hit all that hard, or that we prevent heroes from just moving back through the portal and escaping a gank. But here comes Varian, and we get Falstad. So, the birdie is in again. Marke, he likes the bird, and he's also going straight up for more macro on Alderac Pass. After on the last map, it already worked out nicely. So we have the final 2 picks coming in for Go Next. And I want to see what that sideline is going to be. It's the next factor for them. Urel plus Blaze. Damn, that's a front line. Urel, Blaze, and Jojo. Okay. Cassia is gonna have a lot of wiggle room in the back, but also a lot of responsibility to get the damage out. But can you imagine being at the front line of the blue team and having to deal with all three of them, Jojo, Urel, and Blaze? I mean, that is annoying as hell already. Now that leaves us with Azerite as the last pick. And what's he's gonna do? Yeah, Maiev. Maiev is the last pick, everyone. Let's go into Alderac Pass, the next Heroes of the Storm match here in this Best of 5 series between Go Next and Chili Mountain. Chili Mountain against Go Next. And well, we're going next. We have the blue team here on Alderac Pass on the left side with Macke on Maiev this time. He gave up his Falstad. He lets Azerite play him this time. Gia is on Varian. We got Berghult on Diva. And Banana H is playing Uther. On the right side of the map, we got Go Next with Wit on Jojo, Kelvin on Cassia, Blade on Blaze, Zero on Urel, and Skynox is playing Anna. Okay, so with all of that said and done, let's see what we're gonna get in this game, because we have a beefy frontline for Go Next here. Kind of reminds me also a bit about some of the combos that we've seen on this map, especially Asmodan has at some point made a bit of a comeback here with the Demonic Invasion, where you can literally just sit at the side lane and try to take structures down. Has worked quite nicely, by the way, and has been played in more than only one game. You could still see that in the second half of the season, but at least in this game, it's not happening. So right now, we got still a few traps set up. Here comes the quick tether against Blade. The stun from Uther. And he gets out. But he's obviously now going to be forced to tap the fountain early. We got Urel down at the bottom of the map as she's currently doing her thing. Same time in the middle, the birdie pretty much alone gets hit by the condemn, but Wit of course cannot really follow up on any of this. Gia is already looking at the side for an engage, and so far he doesn't have the level 4 for the taunt, but he's gonna have it soon. Yeah, and then they can always try to stack the CC here. So you have Uther's stun, you have Varian's taunt. At the same time, Maiev has to be considered with the tether, as she's gonna try and set up the kills for the team. And Falstad is gonna come in with the damage output. So it's definitely a terrifying setup if Macke can rack with Maiev here. He's definitely going to be one of the big things to focus on when we're talking about the lineup of Chili Mountain. Camp is of course taken. I mean, we've been talking about this camp like non-stop every single time the map pops up. Every time it's available, take it. Time it so that you're on the position just before it spawns, and then take it right away. Super important, pretty powerful. Also one of the few camps on the map. The only other camps are the boss camps that are spawning at the 5-minute mark at the top and bottom. So yeah. Top side, Azerite. Yeah, makes it out again. And gets stunned, so he might not be able to survive all of this after all. 110 hit points. But Blade had to retreat. He himself was low as he had to engage straight into the tower range and got punished for that. Yeah, now of course with level 4 we have the taunt, and that changes things, since Gia can now play way more aggressive and really force these fights. And as long as Macke is around with Maiev, you don't want to engage into that unless you have some escape tools yourself. To be fair, we do have a lot of heroes on the side of Go Next that can deal with that kind of pressure. One of the reasons why they went into this setup. Very, very beefy, very annoying, and it allows Cassia to get all of the hits in. But she doesn't have a lot of stacks yet. We didn't really see a whole lot of skirmishes thus far, and she was for a long part at the bot lane, where we are now seeing Urel. And oh my god, are you joking? No freaking way. Zero survives on Urel. You gotta be kidding me. Skynox with a Pew on Anna. Check this one out. What an escape over here. Incredible. So at the bottom of the map, as we're focusing, the gank is already going on. They're 4-manning Urel, and Urel, the space coach, just sits there and says like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Simply moves out, Anna comes in, drops a few heal darts, and then all of a sudden Urel is totally fine and moves out of the battle. Incredible. Not too bad. But yeah, anyways, we got the attack straight up for the first prisoner camp. So it seems like the blue team might even walk away with this. They have the early level 7s, that's kind of neat. A bit of a counter attack is happening right now. But here we go. There's the play, and they're interrupting it. I'm a bit surprised that the blue team is not trying to defend this a bit more aggressively, since they have the talent advantage. They got Fawcett at the top lane fairly alone, so I think they were hoping to get some value there. Instead, they are now attacking Blade as the red team is pushing in the camp at the mid lane. At the bottom, we still got our solo laners going 1v1. But, yep, 19 stacks for Kelvin. Gia with a few more attacks right now, too. And off we go. Top side, Azurite is there. Wit also helping out as we speak, and hitting again the shield clear, which also contributed, of course, to Urel's escape at the bottom. I mean, we're highlighting Ana here, and Skynox were definitely a big impact on this, but let's not forget that we also had Wit coming in with the shield clear and helping out a little bit more. No matter how you accomplish it, but saving Urel in that situation was definitely a big one. So nicely done by Go Next. But they are under pressure. It's once again a play for the prisoner camp as they're trying to set all of this up. Backhold, careful. It gets interrupted on the channel. It's one of the reasons why we're oftentimes seeing this delayed very, very heavily when the teams are going for the first objective, and this one is no exception. So, right now, top side, the birdie is still doing a side lane thing. Damage output, as you can see, for Fawcett is at 9,000. It's over 9,000, baby! And the rest of the team is with level 10 now, hoping to go again for the prisoner camp. There we go. And this time, once they get level 10, there's just no way that Gonex is fighting for it. I mean, you can already tell that they're very reluctant to even get close. So they're just gonna let it happen. And that is a just powerful push. I mean, honestly, this is kind of crazy if you think about it. Look at the way that the experience is shaping up. The second that we're going to have the cavalry on the map, level 10 is going to be there for Chili Mountain. Now, it's a small window that we're talking about, but if Fawcett doesn't die, then they're still going to have that as a window. And the birdie is going for the gust. Fly, baby! Fly! Fly! He can't. The sleep dart is there. Azurite! It's not happening. The bird is dead, everybody. But so is Jojo in the middle of the map. So it's a kill for a kill right here at the bot lane. Backhold is going up against Zero. And now, of course, thanks to the kill and the added experience, we have both teams on level 10. We get the... yeah, a little bit too late for Jojo to capitalize on it, but we have the falling sword. Also, the bunker. And instead, Ana went for the Eye of Horus, so a little bit more range, pew 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 for her. But the damage is definitely significant. Going through all of the walls, doing damage at the top fort and at the bot lane, similar picture. But of course, now with level 10 abilities, this is where the game is going to heat up a little bit. And for good reason. So, let's go. There we have it. Wit's coming in again. Condemn. Trying to go for Maka. Bit of damage from Kelvin, but it's definitely not enough here. And of course, Jojo doesn't have the Blessed Shield. Is going to try and put pressure onto the backline in particular. Bot lane, still another play. Ult already used from Zero. The missiles. And that's going to be the end of Urel. Yeah, she's doing fairly okay for herself, but it's just not enough to buy enough time for Blade to help her out here. So, yep. There we have it. Another quick kill. That's 3-1 now. And at the top side, with an attempt to go for boss, we are very likely going to see Go Next give this one up, because the blue team is currently doing too well with all of the pressure that we're getting here. So there's that. Bottom of the map, Fawcett is still pushing this out. This is one of those setups where a secret weapon, of course, is helping you. If you can attack structures and not heroes that can simply walk away and negate the value that you're getting from the talent. Azurite still has to retreat, but they're opening up a lot of possibilities now for potential push with the next objective, or just even after a team fight. All of the forts are exposed, and 2 of the fountains have already been taken down. So for now, we're just simply having them focus again into the middle here. Yeah, again, Hammer of the Lightbringer as level 1 talent, so if you're seeing an Uther pick, very likely that you're not going to see at any point Wave of Light, for the simple reason that I pointed out earlier. There's a bit of a bug interaction with Benedictions, and teams have been told that if they want to pick Benediction, they are not allowed to take Wave of Light. So instead of banning the hero completely, they just banned the talent action. There's always a couple of talents being banned out. Blizzard is unfortunately these days very slow in fixing bugs like this. There's not a lot of the patches coming through. And there's been a few bugs and interactions that have been literally be flawed for months. So Falset comes to mind. His W setup still has problems, and Blizzard hasn't fixed those since. And that, of course, is one of the reasons why you don't see any W builds really for the birdie. 3 kills to 1, 13 versus 13 talents. The bottom 4 has already fallen, but at least the red team is now getting a head start on the prisoners camp. The sleep dart against Uther, the follow-up attempt with a nice jet propulsion. Plus there's no damage that follows on it. Gia's trying to interrupt. They definitely don't want to give up this objective. And the fight is happening. Falset is now coming in too. Talents are the same. The pew 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 in the back line. Skynox has to interrupt since Azerite is coming in, pressuring directly. And Wit is attempting to save the Granny. But instead, here comes the attack again. Over here, objective is nearly taken. But the minions interrupted and Cassia is down. That's the main damage dealer already gone. They're going for 0. Take down Urel. The Space Goat is dead. Azerite low. Everybody's low, but it's Granny and Blaze that both die. And it's going to be a 5-man wipe, ladies and gentlemen. 5-man team wipe as the entire red team gets completely murdered here. Nicely done. Check that shit out. They went ham on this. Absolutely ham. They saved everyone on their own side and were able to get in 5 kills. Incredibly well done. So now we have 8 kills to 1. We have a 2-level lead, nearly level 16. They go for boss. They go for the objective. We have still some minions pressuring through the mid lane, doing even more damage to the fort. The same is happening, by the way, at the top side. So while the boss is taken in just a moment, that fort is not going to be an obstacle at all. And the objective is soon going to come through too. And with soon, I mean soon, because at least for now, the red team was able to recapture here. But there is no denying that with level 16 talent advantages, a 2-level lead, and the boss pushing the top side, they will have to give it up. There's just nothing else that they can really do. So right now, there's a bit of a push through the mid lane. Seems like the red team is still thinking about defending this, but it also means that the boss has free reign over the top lane. Already took down the fort and is now making his way over towards the keep wall. And Chili Mountain is going to play this a bit patient. They're going to wait until somebody shows up for the defense here. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And the first thing that you can see on the minimap is Uther making his way over to the prisoner camp and saying hello. Like, hey, how you boys doing? Want to get out? Let's go. Prison reform incoming right here. We got the votes. Ah, but Granny, she got the big sniper rifle. All right, scoping it down. Skynox with the interrupt. Good for him. Yeah, and with the pew pew pew, even a double channel is not enough. And Skynox is just having some fun here in the back. But eventually they're gonna have to let this one go. And the birdie is playing macro in the meantime. You can look at the minimap, and here in the middle he's starting to take down the fort using a secret weapon to its fullest extent. And there it is again. The channel on the objective. Wit on the other hand. Yeah, he's trying, but it's not happening. Another set of cavalry riders is going to make it onto the map. By now, all of the forts have been destroyed, so the outer ring of defense has been completely obliterated. And with that, they're going to set this up. 40 stacks for Cassia. Our girl is sitting at 22,000 damage. Not enough, honestly. Birdie himself on 23k, and we got 3 heroes at around 19,000 for Chili Mountain. The wave clear is ready at the bottom. Azerite has more than 110,000 siege damage as it is. Whereas up at the top, the fight is still coming through. And oh yeah, he has to jump out. Are we going to see the taunt? Is Gia jumping in? No, he's not setting it up for the team here. Even talents at least. Now that's the saving grace for Go Next. They got even talents. They have a chance. If they can find a kill here, would go a long way. We got the static electricity in. Blade in trouble. Blaze trying to make it out. Gets attacked. Drops the bunker. Wit is coming in. Falset still at the bottom of the map. One of the raiders pushing through the middle as the top fountain is under attack now too. We're still early on in the game. It's only 13 minutes in, but already some severe damage is being done here. And the bird is wreaking havoc at the bot lane. Banana H keeping himself alive on Uther. Urel still fighting it out with Falstad. And Zero has to pop the ult as Azerite gets away with the afterburner here. No problem for him. At the top, Uther goes down though as Jojo is able to nail him. And now we have even the disc out from IF just to cover the retreat a little bit better. Nice damage for Mucket too, by the way. Just chunking that out with the AoE. The keep has taken some damage at the top lane. In the middle, the wall has been opened up. And as mentioned at the bot lane, we see a similar picture. So it's a fantastic position for Chili Mountain to be in, not even talking about the lead and experience that they have. It's a 1.5 level lead right now, and that is plenty to lock in a level 20 advantage. Maybe for the next objective, maybe for the next boss push, whatever it is, they got a lead here. So, right now, they already have some vision on all of this. Yeah, Backward still doing his thing. Here comes the taunt, and Jojo jumping back in. Here we go. Falling Sword coming in, and yeah, they're trying. But it's just not enough damage. They can't get the kill, and instead it's actually Wit that has to retreat. But they go for the birdie, and that was a close call. Azerite nearly went down here. A little bit more stun, and it would have been the end of him. But now they are getting closer and closer to level 20. That's the problem if you're forcing fights like this and you go next, but you can't get the kill. You are ending up in a position where the talents are coming through for your opponent's team. They get the experience too, and then they're going to capitalize on the advantage. And we're nearly talking on a 2-level lead now. So that's nasty. Storm talents that are about to kick in just as the objective spawns. The timing couldn't be any better for Chili Mountain. They want that 2-0. They want to get the quick kills today. And they might even go for the boss, honestly. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. Objective is now up. Urel is showing at the bot lane, at the top lane, so they see her. They know that there's not going to be a 5-man. And instead, we have them go for boss. And that's an easy push through the bottom of the map. As I highlighted earlier, the wall is already down, so that boss is going to go straight for the keep. And therefore, you can now make a play for the next objective. And, yeah, it's nasty. With the level 20s, we got the Redemption in. Magic Missiles got upgraded. The birdie with the Nexus Frenzy. Yeah, more auto attack. Get that range, baby. Range and speed increase for Falset. He's throwing out those hammers like a machine gun. Honestly, that guy would make a fantastic carpenter. Yeah, he is nailing those. One after another. Here they come. Bam, bam, bam. And he is, of course, with that, also capitalizing a little bit more on his level 7 talent. The synergy is there. And he's getting the damage in. And the keep is going to fall. That's the first armor shield gone. Now, at least the red team was in a position where they were able to go topside and take their own boss. So it's not like they completely missed out on that. But it doesn't change the fact that we still have another objective about to drop in for Chili Mountain. Now, the next goal for the red team has to be to soak experience for level 20, so that they can at least find themselves in a position where they can defend with even talents. And they're going to do that. They should also be able to at least take the fort down at the top side, but it's still going to be a bit rough. Upgrade for the Falling Sword, which means that we're going to get cooldown reduction. Jojo is going to jump around throughout the team fight. The Fortified Bunker is in too. And we got the Seraphim plus the Deadeye. Okay, Infinite Ball of Lightning is also in. And there we go. Yeah, that cavalry is going to take a while until it finally arrives. But they're trying in the middle again. Yeah, look at this. Nice. Jojo on a 10-second cooldown on the ult, and they had to drop the Divine Shield because of it. But the Mighty Gust comes in, and that is the end of Cassia. Nice. Good Mighty Gust over here. Now they're going for Blade, and it's another kill. Granny's too late. At least the birdie is down. But they are in trouble as they traded 1 for 2. And now all of the lanes are getting pressured. Was a good Mighty Gust. I mean, the disc doesn't connect. But here, check out that play again. So the bird came in right here, uses the Mighty Gust, hits 3 as you can see. They go for the quick kill against Cassia. The range damage dealer is gone. The 7T stacks, not a threat any longer. With 10 kills to 3, they can now follow up in the mid lane and take the next keep down and reduce the armor shields by 1 more. And that should be the end of the game. With only 3 defenders, this is the perfect opportunity to come in and try and take this one down. The boss is already losing hit points, and this is the moment where Chili Mountain just commits. Jojo again with a nice cooldown reset, but it's just not enough. Game number 2 goes to Chili Mountain as they lock in another victory in our second Heroes of the Storm map of this best of 5. GG. Game number 3, Infernal Shrines, is our 3rd map, and well, if that trend continues, it's going to be the last map of this series. Because so far, Go Next is true to their name. They're just sitting there like, nah, next boys, this isn't going to work for us. No, seriously. We'll find out if they can turn it around, but so far things haven't really gone well for them. We had Chili Mountain control those games from start to finish, and banning Uther might be the first step into the right direction here, because that was definitely part of the problem. We have also Sonya still banned out. We're going to keep our eye on Hogger, of course. This is Infernal Shrines after all. Other heroes that you want to keep an eye on here, Leo, Blaze for those side lane picks. We could even see another quick link into the dragon guy. Deathwing, that's the one. Alright, into Deathwing at some point, because as I mentioned before, Blade really likes to play him, so that's another map where you can get good value through it. But first we get D.Va, and we have Medivh banned out, so Maki doesn't get his chance to play Medivh today. At least not right now. But what else? What are we going to see as the first pick rotation now that Uther is banned? Because now we're going to need another support for Banana. Could be Ana. Lucy is also up. Just mentioning that. And, well, party time. Hanzo and Malfurion. Alright, so you can use the root to just control the choke points a bit more. And we'll see what they combo together with that. If we're going to get a Nubarak, if we're going to get a Varian, or if it's a completely different setup. I mean, even if Gia wants to play as Diablo again, he can by all means. This is a great map for Diablo. You have so many walls and choke points where you can capitalize on the wall stun. It's pretty fantastic. And, yeah, we're going to check that out. The first pick phase, though, the first double pick that we have for the red team. And it gives us Lulcio and Cassia again. Oh, poor girl has been struggling a bit with the stacks in the last few games. I mean, she ended up with, I think, 70 roughly, 70, 80 on Alterac Pass, but never really got convincing damage in, considering that she had 3 frontliners to create a little bit of space for her. Okay, here on Infernal Shrines, it's kind of normal that you either have Jojo picked or banned. She is insanely powerful with the wave clear, and for the objective, it's, I mean, one of the things that you definitely need, which is also why I earlier highlighted some of the offlaners that we could see. But of course, D.Va with the explosion can create enough space for you to not only look in some of the stacks herself, but also create the space for the rest of the team to take position on the shrine, and then use that. The bird banned out too, so yeah, we definitely have a couple of target picks in game number 3. After they tried for a different strategy in game number 1 and game number 2 and it didn't work out, I just said, okay guys, let's react a bit to what we're seeing here. As predicted, Diablo gets taken by Gia. It's a great map for him, it's a good hero for him. Leo for the wave clear. Oh, Schallsweffer. And that leads us to Make's pick on the end. And Make, I always highlight it, he's played a lot of Mephisto, he plays it on Infernal Shrines, and he plays it on Volskaya Foundry. So it's something we could see here, don't have to. I mean, there's plenty more damage dealers, but if Make sees an opportunity, he's going to take it. Now, either way, the last 2 picks for the red team, and what we're going to get is Maiev for Kelvin and Tyrael. Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of Tyrael from the Hardos too. They comboed it off with Sonya, and then when Judgment Leap, it worked pretty well to blow up targets. I think this is looking a bit more like Sanctification might be the play, but time will tell. Make on the last pick. So what are we going to get from them? What is Make going to add for damage here on Infernal Shrines? Potentially the last map of the best of 5 series. It's Mephisto! Called it! Let's go, everybody. Mephisto is in. That leads us into game number 3. It is go next against Chili Mountain, everybody. The 8th Playday of the Masters Clash continues. Game number 3. It is Infernal Shrines. Make on Mephisto. You have Gia on Diablo. Banana Age playing Malfurion in the 3rd game. Backhold on Leoric and Azerite on Hanzo. A 2-0 lead for the blue team as we're heading into the 3rd map. On level 1, the Devils do once again, but also slight adjustment with the Consume Vitality here for Leoric over the potential Ossin's Renewal, for example. The right side of the map, Skynox is playing Lucio for the red team. We have go next with Wit on Tyrael, Kelvin on Maiev, Blade on D.Va, and Zero is playing Cassia. So off we go. It's party time. Money pick for Backhold, my boy. That's how I like it. Oh yeah, give me the piggy. Same time now, we have of course a lot of pressure on the red team. And I've been highlighting this throughout the entire season. I'm not going to get tired of it. Like every single map matters. Honestly, a map is a point, period. So if you're able to lock a map in, then you are in a great spot against a team that is just well above you. And that's true for everything. We have so many we had, like, even after halftime, we had so many positions already where they were literally tied with another team, and therefore you have to fight for everything here. Even a single map is going to make a huge difference at the end of the season before we're heading into the playoffs. And this is for an offline final. This event is likely going to have an offline final. So Cassia is already dead. I say likely because with Corona you never really know. But right now the last update that I got from the admins, which was I think 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, they said that things are looking very, very good and that they expect that the offline final will indeed take place. So with that in mind, all of the teams here are super motivated to really make that happen, because this is really the thing, you know, that you want to do when you're playing any kind of esports competitively. And since we had, because of Corona, more or less no real offline events, this is now an opportunity for the players to meet up again, have some fun, shoot the shit together, and of course also play some offline Heroes of the Storm. So another one. Yeah, the first kill is in. We got a slight advantage in experience as the teams are now fighting for that position. And especially when we're talking about fighting for that position, I've been talking about Go Next and them trying to get into a better spot. But let's face it, it's more so Chili Mountain that has to attempt to really catch up with teams like Soundless in order to get into a good position for the playoffs, so that they have a better shot at making it into the offline final. And we got the level 4 talents in, the Stalwart Angel, topside, back hold against Blade. And yeah, just camps taken. I mean, at least on the camps there's an advantage for Go Next. They were able to take 2 of the Khazra camps at the bottom. So there's that. We have also the static barrier after the Furious Spark, aka we're gonna get Lightning Nova setups for Mephisto. At the top right, Blade is currently doing his thing. And also we got Shando's Clarity for Malfurion. Okay. First objective is up, and that's when we're gonna see the first few fireworks here. Dibbles is sitting at 38 stacks now on his baseline, so he's adding a few more. He's of course gonna have a whole lot of sustain if he can be able to get to a couple of globes here. Camps are already taken. And what you are gonna see is that at least the side laners will hold on to the mid and the bot lane, simply because they're gonna attempt to get level 7 for the teams. So whichever team doesn't do that will fall behind in talents during the fight, and that's of course always a bad thing. So whenever you see any competitive game, you will see the solo laners still sticking to the lanes just to get that level 7, and then they're moving into the fight itself. Right now, at the Shrine, we have the early position for Go Next. Leo and D.Va still trying to get the experience as mentioned, and everybody else is just aiming for those isolated minions to take them down and get a bit ahead on the progress for the first Punisher of the game. And Leo and D.Va are now making their way over. That minion wave is all that you really need. There's the level 7 kicking in for the blue team, but the same is also true for Go Next. And it's party time. With that, we got our 5 versus 5, so it's time to rock and roll over here. Diabolical Momentum is coming in, and Wit is at the front line already zoning them out a little bit here. Went for the Swift Retribution, of course. This is level 7 choice. Here comes D.Va with the explosion. That could do some damage, and indeed it does. Malfurion is down there trying to go for Gia. Diablo, a likely second kill, and he dies. Macke is able to escape. Backhold is ghosting out, and that is Go Next, showing some signs of life here on the objective, as they're saying, hello boys, we're still fighting for this one. Was a close call, 31 stacks against 39, but here comes the last one to be locked in, and Go Next gets Punisher number 1. We're talking Frozen Punisher at this point, therefore the bait over the wall is imminent. Yeah, there we have it. And of course, Maiev is right away trying to follow up on that. 15 stacks only for 0, so he doesn't really have a whole lot to his level 1 when it comes to stacking. Malfurion, so far, not with the level 7. There we go. Finally, the Nature's Cure. Was just about to say, he's going to wait if we're getting Judgment to see if he needs the cleanse. Old school style. I mean, jokes aside, that was actually what you saw in the past. Like, when Heroes of the Storm just came out, when we had the first tournaments in Alpha and Beta, a lot of supports had level 7 cleanse. Malfurion was one of them. And any Tyrael player back in the days could go either Judgment or Sanctification, and for a lot of them, Cleanse simply wasn't needed unless Tyrael went into Judgment. There weren't that many heroes out there that had reliable stuns, so you would see some of the players hold their level 7 talent until Tyrael had his level 10, and then make the decision what they needed on level 7. So it was actually pretty cool back in the day. Blade! Yeah, that is also a nice one. He just got out. Yeah, that was 68 points maybe? It's a lot less than 100, so good for him that he was able to get out there. Well played. And Gia and Azurite are also now fighting it out. Yeah, I've been telling just recently a couple of the stories too. I mean, we had tournaments already in Alpha, and in Alpha we didn't have custom games in Heroes of the Storm. So the way that we had to match teams up was that the 5-man teams queued at the same time on the ladder, and because of the MMR, they would match against each other. So you had internal channels where the other teams were told not to queue, and then only the 2 teams that were supposed to play against each other in the tournament queued at the same time, got matched, and then the next pair was told to queue up. So it was kind of interesting. It took a long time for Blizzard to implement custom games in Heroes of the Storm, but yeah. There's even a few... honestly, there should be replays on my YouTube channel as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're really interested to see how Heroes of the Storm looked in Alpha, you can go all the way back a couple of years. And I think it was the My Insanity Cup back then, which was the first tournament that we held in this case. What the teams did do afterwards is they would save the replay, send it to me, and I would then cast the replay of their ladder game that counted as a tournament game. So those were the good old days, and all of that stuff is still available on YouTube. So if you want to see some very early Heroes of the Storm esports action, you can still find it on my channel. Now, with that little tangent into the beginnings of Heroes of the Storm esports, let's see what's happening here, because we got level 10 abilities now for both teams, of course. We're already on level 11.5, and off we go. The quick pick here into Dibbles, making his level... Oh! Ooh, yeah, that arrow didn't hit anything. Big arrow. Straight to North America as it narrowly misses its target. But they got the kill on D.Va, and that's all that really matters. So they were able to get the kill on D.Va. They still YOLO'd the arrow out. Not really a big deal, but of course it's not going to be ready for the next fight now. I was probably hoping for a follow-up kill, but that didn't happen. They will still have a slight advantage over the next objective. But, well, let's see what they can pull off now. Because here's the Sanctification now. We got the Sound Barrier, we got the Sanctification, everything is ready. Arrow is not back up for another 30 seconds, I might add. And here we have it. The fight for Punisher number 2. Slight lead for Chili Mountain, and Tomb is back up ready and can be comboed off with the Apocalypse, of course, and the Durance of Fate. And they might go for it right away, but D.Va is also here. There's the cage, and they're making the play straight up for D.Va again. Their sleep is hitting hard. There's the Sanctification, nicely done. Leo is ghosting out, and he dies. The Apocalypse gets dodged, but space was created. Banana H is down. Muck is in trouble. 2 dead already, and a third one could fall. The arrow completely missing its mark again, as Diablo is the only one still attempting to bully the red team. They're trying to get some additional stacks together. Mephisto is now dead too, and it is just murderous what we're seeing here. Go Next has all of a sudden woken up. I don't know if the caffeine finally kicked in or what's going on here, but they got the level 13 talent, they got the second Punisher, and now they can make the plays right here. Yep, here we go. Maybe finally an opportunity for them also to push through a little bit harder. Try to take the gate down, try to take maybe even the fort apart. 33 stacks now for Cassia, so our girl is already doing a bit better than she did in the last game, at least at that particular time frame. And here we go. It's party time. Yes, let's go. Hesitating a little bit here. They want the Punisher to do all of the work here. And apparently he's game. Another salvo. And he just falls shy of taking the fort. But at least at the top, they're already in a spot where they could do even more damage. So they might not have taken the fort in the middle, but at least they're doing some work here. Nice dodge from Blade this time, playing the Juke Master 2000. Gia, he's fully stacked, so doesn't really want to die here. Still not a big lead experience for Gonex, but they have map control now. And they should be able to at least take one fort down in the mid lane, and honestly, the one at the top is also kind of exposed, so if they get a small time window where they can push, then it's gonna fall too. It's all about the damage on Cassia again. She needs to stack, she needs to get that together. Kelvin, of course, is doing a fair amount of work also with Maiev. But I'm still a little bit terrified that some of these combos that we could see from Chili Mountain are gonna land soon. And Sanctification, that's really where the counter then comes into play. So yeah, there's that. Now, the Durance of Hate could also be the setup for them. We're just scouting this out the entire time before he jumps out. We got our solo laners back on the top lane, locked into that eternal 1 versus 1. 35,000 damage now for Hanzo. And Maiev is the top damage dealer for the red team. She's at 20k. Cassia is actually far behind. 14,000 only for her. 16k even for D.Va. Yeah. And same is pretty much true for Mephisto. I mean, 19,000 isn't all that much. Now, we had only 2 big fights, but here comes the level 16. Not really a massively. Chili Mountain is going to get the level 16 talent, of course, for the next objective as well. So it's not like only one team is going to have it and run the show here. But still worth pointing out that with 16, they could now technically try to push into the mid lane. At least get the camp. Get the 16, get the camp, and then push into the mid lane to try and take that fort down finally. I mean, my OCD is kicking in just watching that hit point bar. Look at that crap. So yeah, take that bad boy down. Now that you have the camp and the talent advantage, you should have no problem making that play. So yeah, here we go. The full-on defense. Diablo is the only one that's not with them, but they have vision on him. And the fort finally is down. Yeah, they pushed in and took it. The only one that hasn't died on the blue team is Hanzo. Jumped out of the fight again. And down here, here's the 16 talents now also for Diablo. And it's time to try to go for the one-shots. The domination has kicked in. And the shrine is activating too. Okay, they won 2. Can they win the 3rd? Objective after objective. We got no globals this time for the 2 teams. So Chili Mountain, they're taking the camp, as does the red team. And now top side, we're going to see the Shamans collide. And maybe one of the teams will have a hero set up for the top lane. A little bit longer, but it seems like everybody is just going bot lane to make sure that they're going to take the next objective here. And this is where it can snowball a little bit. If Go Next takes it again, there should be a lot that they can do with this. But at the same time, it's an opportunity for Chili Mountain to bring it back. They want to take this with a 3-0. That's the result that they had the first time these teams played this season. This is the rematch. Yeah, once again, Diablo at the forefront here. Waiting for a combo to be set up. Already a little bit of ping happening. Banana H sitting in the back. Maiev trying to drive a wedge between the members of the team. Blade comes in with the explosion. 22 stacks to 17. Secures the shrine for just a moment and has to fall back again. Gia's making the play. They're going for Lulcio. Here comes the APOC. And they connect the stun, at least with Cassia. There's sound barrier. Gia! He goes down, but he's going to be back in a moment. The problem is that Banana H is already getting attacked and he's dying too. 2 are down. The big Entomb on the other hand finally gets the kill against Cassia, but it might be too little too late. Marke gets followed and he also gets wrecked, and that's the Arcane Punisher at least for the blue team. They lost the fight, but at least they were able to take the battle. So yeah, good for them. Yeah, Diablo is already moving towards the top. Azerite for a second was in trouble. Diablo's trying to defend the top lane, whereas the Punisher is at least attacking the bottom of the map. It was a bit of a weird one. They kind of YOLO'd hard for the Punisher at the end, but it worked out for them, and that's kind of important. The worst case scenario would have been them losing multiple heroes and losing the Punisher. That would have been a total disaster. So, yeah, there's that. But, well, let's go. Down to the bottom of the map. And now we got Skynox and Kelvin sitting tight. And in the middle of the map, good old Tyrael is holding the fort down. But 18 versus 18. It's now 8 kills to 4. It took 3 maps, but finally Go Next is showing up. I mean, seriously. Finally they're showing up here. I'm talking about showing up. They're showing up to take back cooldown. Lucio with the speed, but thanks to his build, he gets away. He invested into the Ominous Wraith and the Royal Focus, and therefore no problem for him to ghost out of that situation. Didn't go for one of the Drain styles or one of the auto attack styles that we've seen in the past. Pop up more and more. Also, we got the Burning Halo and the Sword of Justice. Tyrael, that snob, honestly. I mean, if you... Honestly, if Tyrael walks into a Starbucks, you know that he's gonna go for a soy latte or something like that. I mean, you just know it. Tyrael is one of those hippies that just like walks in and acts all righteous the entire time, and he's gonna order the soy latte with the vegan milk and the, I don't know, artificial almonds or whatever. It's like cruelty-free. So, yeah, that's Tyrael for you. Diablo, on the other hand, he goes into Starbucks and he goes for his black coffee. That's all that he wants. No milk, no sugar, no. Just black coffee. That's all that he wants. We should really at some point go through what those guys are drinking. Leo doesn't drink anything. He can't. He's a skeleton. So he can only burn himself a little bit. And it just like taints his bones a little bit. So he's not really a coffee person. But yeah, Deckard Cain, he's obviously a tea guy. So is Tracer. No surprise. The British, as usual. But the fight down here is also starting to fire things up a little bit. So it's not only the coffee that is hot and spicy. Nope, it's also the battle with the Sanctification at the perfect time. The arrow missing because of it. Just no luck today for Azerite. Never lucky, baby. And here come the plays as they be having the lockdown hard against the blue team. Gia in trouble right away, but he's still alive. 20 is in. And that has, of course, the Holy Arena, the house party. But holy hell, ladies. That's quite the game now. Because that last encounter, they fired everything. And nobody died. So, kind of an interesting one. 44 stacks now for Diablo as the shrine gets announced topside. So in an ideal world, Gia would try to get a few more stacks together before they make the encounter happen. But that ult on Tyrael was just gold. That arrow would have murdered them. I mean, seriously, that arrow, if that connects, if they don't drop the Sanctification there, that arrow just crushes them completely. That would have stunned, I mean, how many? 3, 4? So instead, we got the fight up at the top. They're going for Gia. Yeah, gets locked into a corner for just a second, but see, he still has plenty of hit points. And if he makes it into the lane for a moment, he should easily be able to get one of those globes there and recover some hit points. But Malfurion is already doing his best to just keep him topped up. 20 versus 20 is now also giving us the upgrade for Leo, so he's coming in with a Buried Alive. And it seems like the red team is letting this one go. They used too many of their abilities already earlier. Without Sanctification, they're just not willing to take the battle. And they were falling behind quickly on the Punisher, so they give it up. It's honestly one of those calls that you don't really want to make because you feel that you have to fight the fight. But then without Sanctification, let's just be honest, with Hanzo's arrow, the Entomb, and Dibbles, yeah, you probably want to pass on that. So, nothing happening there. Anyways, we got 59,000 for Hanzo now. Yeah, and yeah, here's the play. Hanzo is another soy boy, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I think he and Tyrael get along pretty well. I mean, I think they would order exactly the same thing. Or he's going for a chai latte or something. That would work too. Ah, Diablo, he likes his coffee black, and that's the exact... Ooh, black and strong, that's exactly how he likes to engage here. Going for the strong punish, or at least looking for it. They're trying to go for the keep, of course. Two lanes are pushing against Chili Mountain. The mid lane and the bot lane, both are pushed by camps. The Punisher is down to 20%. The keep is not really falling. That's a seriously decent defense from Go Next. Yeah, they held on to it, 50%. And now Chili Mountain, they need to get the hell out of there. Because this is pushing in the middle. At the bot lane, it's more or less the same picture. The arrow missed again. The Sanctification not used this time, but the arrow just doesn't connect today. They get the kill against Tyrael without him using his ult. But Leo still falls. It's a trade, 1-for-1. But Leo's probably the best trade that he can get here. It's always him that you want to sacrifice in team fights. He's gonna spawn back up on point. And Chili Mountain still with some additional pressure. But Hanzo just never lucky today. This is the 4th or 5th arrow that Azerite is missing. He is not having any luck with these connects. It's either Tyrael that screws it up for him, or instead we have him just missing it completely. In the last encounter, Tyrael couldn't even drop his Sanctification. But yeah, got locked down and died. So right now, we got Gia defending the bottom. We have the middle being attacked now too. 5 to 9 kills. And the next objective is going to spawn bot side. It's getting a bit closer here. There's still a fort in the middle for Go Next, so that gives them a lead. But this isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. So Berkult is already sitting tight. And there it is. Next camp is taken. Mid lane control. I mean, just look at the minimap. Pretty much all of the camps spawning down here have been taken by the red team already previously. It's another 35 seconds for the next siege camp to come up. Damage output, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, we got 71,000 now for Hanzo. 52,000 for Maiev. And we already got Banana H and his team trying to set up some traps here. Yeah, the Chinese push meta, especially on Infernal Shrines, is always quite popular. It's a trap. Only 3 heroes that haven't died yet. Lucio, yeah, no surprise here. He goes for the French defense. He just runs away. And Hanzo, he is jumping away. Okay. Yeah, Hanzo is a master at parkour. Hanzo and Genji, they're both parkour masters. They're just running away from the fight whenever. Give them a wall and they jump it. That's pretty much what's happening. But it's all about the next setup here. If now only he could also hit his arrow. Honestly, if Azorites just hits one arrow, I think the game's over. And he's probably pissed by now. Can you imagine missing, I think, 3-4 in a row? Or getting them ruined by the Sanctification? He's probably really pissed. And shout out to Tyrael. I mean, Wit has been dropping some crazy Sanctifications. He got murdered in the last team fight, but boy, did he have some good setups for them. So, yeah. By now, the next objective is popping up. Already the wall stun attempt, but it was not enough. Skynox was stopped just before the wall. And yeah, the push to the middle. Top side is also still fine. No keep is really threatened yet, but the top could become a bit of a problem, depending on which Shaman camp wins the battle. But over here, the fight has started up, and it is time to shine. 80 stacks for Cassia. Our girl is getting some serious numbers up. 20 minutes into the game, so yeah, it's about time, I'd say. No ults have been used just yet, but the party is about to start. Where's the fireworks, baby? There's the explosion. They go for the drain. The arrow connects, and it has 0 consequence. No, he finally hits one, and nothing happens. Oh, but there's the kill. Sanctification is up. Malfurion is on the run, trying to stop Cassia from chasing him down. Gia is alone. Malf gets away. Same time, Azerate is making the play. Marke, the APOC, the double kill. Mephisto and Diablo, they are both dead. But again, they take the Punisher. They've done it again. Hanzo is also dead. Top side is getting pushed. Can the red team end? That's the question. The Punisher is pushing through the bot lane. The Shaman camp is pushing through the top. Only 2 heroes are here. Leo is going to be back soon. He has his Entomb. He didn't use it in the last fight. He got blown up too quickly. Can they defend the core? If they can defend the core, then a great spot. It's all about Go Next abilities to end the game. Top keep has fallen. Top keep is down. Bottom is getting pressured. And here they're attacking the core. They're trying to end the game right now. There's so much happening on the map. And here comes the Entomb, the Buried Alive. Gia goes down as well. But they're going to have Mephisto back in another 15 seconds. There's no way they're ending this. Well, maybe now. Maybe now? Leo, does he have it? Yeah. Okay. Too late for Mephisto to come in. Yeah, those seconds are lasting a little bit longer than I expected. That's a win. That has to be a win for Go Next. This time they're pulling it off, and yep, here we go. Core is losing hit points on the side of Go Next, but it is them who drop it first. Chili Mountain loses on Infernal Shrines as Go Next locks in a victory. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 4. Go Next did it. They put a point on the scoreboard. And yeah, that play at the end there was pretty clutch. I mean, they had a lot of confidence going for the core. And at some point, I was a bit skeptical. Before Diablo died, I was like, maybe they can defend here. And then they did Tomb hit and everything, and it looked good for a moment for the defense. And I kind of expected Mephisto to just pop up a little bit quicker. Was a bit misleading there, so nicely done by Go Next. But you can tell that it got really close, because that Punisher and the top side camp, they already did damage to the red team's core too. And it is kind of crazy. So either way, now we got our Hogger ban. It's map number 4. Technically, it could be the last map of the series, of course, again. The reverse sweep ambitions continue, though, for Go Next. The 2 side laners that dominate the meta right now are both being banned out. And of course, those are all heroes that we hope Blizzard is going to address in the next patch if we get one. I mean, it's been a while. But Hogger tweaking the numbers a little bit, tweaking the numbers on Sonya a little bit, having a bit of a look at what's going on with Uther would probably be a pretty good idea. I mean, honestly, most of the players expected, especially Sonya and Uther, already to be addressed in the last patch, and most were pretty pissed when all of those heroes were completely overlooked. Because they've been like an issue now for a long time, and you can see them in nearly every single draft being banned or picked right away. So this game is in at least a few aspects a bit of an exception, but if you watched Masters Clash throughout the season, then you've become pretty familiar with some of these patterns here. So there's Uther banned out again, and that leaves us with Azerite on a Hanzo pick. You know, because of these arrows, like Azerite is pretty much looking at this and like, guys, I've been saving all the good arrows for the next game. Like, I've been saving my best ults for map number 4, so it's not really my fault that they were all missing on map number 3. I was just trying to keep, you know, something in the back just for the possibility of a 4th map being necessary here. No, I honestly don't want to make really fun of him. A lot of those arrows weren't really his fault that they didn't connect. It was really Wit playing insanely well with those sanctifications. But he landed a few, he landed 1 or 2 towards the end. And even those didn't have any impact. Maybe it's just like the Defiance pick. You know, he comes in and is like, fuck it, like, game number 3, screw it. It can only get better from here on out, so let's pick Hanzo again. Anyways, Battlefield of Eternity, obviously Hanzo does a lot of damage against the Immortal with a Scatter Arrow build, so that's one of the main reasons you want to pick him here. We have Diablo, so technically we can now go Hanzo Arrow into Diablo Apocalypse again, which is more or less the thought process that already existed in game number 1. But Banana picks Ana. This is when he gets serious. When Banana picks Ana, he's getting super serious. So a bit of a problem here for Gonex that they didn't go for the ban Ana strategy, because if you ban Ana against Banana, then that's always a neat move, since his Banana is pretty bananas. But yeah, anyways, the ban on Medivh, we also got Garrosh banned again. A little bit of a target ban against Wit here. But with Jimmy and Hanzo, both of the teams now have one tool that they can use against the Immortals, so good for them. And, well, with Malf already locked in as the support, we need a side laner, we need a front laner. And what's going to be? Tyrael again! Tyrael and Urel. Okay, so that leaves us with Kelvin. Do you guys smell that? Does that smell like a MIF pick to you? I think that smells like a MIF pick. I think that smells like a MIF pick here. Alright, so Tyrael and Urel already. Let's see what Kelvin is going to pick, if he can. Make and Bakul, of course, are first, so they might be trying to pick something away from him. And, yep, there's Blaze and Sylvanas. Okay, so we got Sylph. Good frontline, too. And it's Genji! Alright, apparently I have to blow my nose or something. My sense of smell isn't the same thing that it was once. Nope, it's a Genji pick. A little bit disappointing here on the other hand, but yeah, no Maya for him. It's Genji. Shimada against Shimada. Alright guys, game number 4. Let's go. Battlefield of Eternity. The Masters Clash series continues as we're having Gonex go up against Chili Mountain once again. Game number 4, Battlefield of Eternity. Banana on Ana for the blue team. Azerite on Hanzo. Gia is playing Diablo, Macke on Sylvanas, and Berkhold on Blaze. And go next on the right side of the map with Wit on Tyrael again after the last game. I don't blame them. That was a real solid play in against Diablo's Apocalypse and the Hanzo Arrow. It's not too bad. If he can get the same timings down here once again, then he can single-handedly ruin all of the setups that Chili Mountain wants to execute. We got 0 on Reyna, going for the Executioner here on level 1. And the Exterminator. God, I'm talking out of my ass today. Kelvin on Genji, Blade on Urel, and Skynox on Malfurion. Okay. Now, first and foremost, we got the Neural Stimpack over here. Oh yeah, Daddy Elon is hard at work here. As he's trying to... yeah, he's talking to Blaze already. He's like, Neural Stimpack, I'm interested. Doggy to the moon, baby. Alright, so... Now we got at the bot lane our 4 versus 4. You could just see like these traditional traps in Battlefield of Eternity. You're making a play into one of these vents. You're seeing if maybe someone rotates over, tries to be sneaky, and then you get a kill. Especially if you have a Genji on the other side. There's also a bit of fountain protection that is involved there. You just want to make sure that that's not happening. And, well, let's see. For now, we already got Kelvin chipping in a little bit of damage here. Now, one of his jobs is, of course, going to be to hunt down Hanzo. Stick that bow where the sun doesn't shine. And for now, it's just a little bit of bot lane skirmish. It's going to be interesting once the camps are up, but now that we're having the red team rotate towards the top side, we're not even going to see any action over here. Instead, it's simply a trade, one camp for another. Furion already trying to zone them out a bit just before the camp gets taken. They steal it, and topside, Urel had to fall back because there we now got the setup right for the next camp. So it's an even trade. Fairly easy, nothing crazy, and let's have a bit of a look of who can do the most damage with it. Blue team is already rotating, but they're a little bit late. I mean, this is starting to do damage. Third hero is now finally coming in. Blaze on the money pick. It's one of the rare occasions, but I actually feel a little bit sorry for the money pick. I mean, Blaze is already a little bit on the heavy side, and then you got that extra armor. I mean, that poor piggy. That's really a lot of load to carry there. So, whew. Gate is down. One tower has been destroyed. That was a really nice start for Go Next. They want that 5-mapper. They want to go for the reverse sweep. If you look at the difference in structural damage, there is a heavy lead now for Go Next. At least considering how early in the game we are. Level 4 talents kicking in. Possession is ready. Swift Strike build is being set up. And it's time for the camps as the first objective is about to be announced. There we go. So that's a good start. And normally the first objective is kind of getting dominated by the team that runs Jimmy. Because in the early stages, Exterminator is just incredible. So Hanzo, his level 4 of course, is going to help him here too. But normally it's Jimmy that comes in and just chunks it down with those auto attacks. Making those right clicks count. Taking them one after another. So, yep. But okay. With all of that, what else are we gonna get? There's the Immortal already up. And can Jimmy get in position? Nice sleep dart! Granny! Look at Banana! Homing in on it, and they're a bit late to the party. I mean, blue team is already doing severe damage against the Immortal, and even Jimmy's gonna have some time catching up, some trouble catching up on that. So a halftime show victory for the blue team. Yeah, you want to be in position, baby. Jimmy needs to move. So here we have it. Zero is gonna be the one to try and take it down. And the rest of the team is defending. And it's a pretty traditional setup. Jimmy is incredible at the beginning. I mean, throughout the entire game on Battlefield of Eternity, Exterminator is just crazy. But especially at the beginning, it has so much value. And he is nearly catching up with them. But the blue team, they want that Immortal. And they're committing as is already. It's a 5 versus 4 after all here. But you can see Chili Mountain, they are able to take it. So nicely done. If they can keep everybody alive, that would be great. If they get a kill, that's even better. Genji, he's trying to chase them down a bit. Poke, poke, poke. Kelvin, yeah, needling them down. One shuriken after another, but they cannot get the kill. And now we have the Immortal move through the bot lane. None of the teams have a level 7 yet. No extra talents for them. We got also the Aegis of Light for Urel. Another play being made for Tyrael. Not quite. But with the help of Sylvanas, they can enhance that push even further. So that's going to be some extra damage that they can throw in. And, well, let's see. What else are they going to get here? They're already pushing through the wall. But is it going to be a drop on the fort? And I highly doubt it. But at least the fountain, dropping that one would be neat. They should be able to do that. Azerite is already getting some damage in. The minions are completing the task. And everybody else just trying to move away. Nice penetrating round. Backhul is coming in from the top. Yeah, the jet propulsion doesn't hit. Can they body block at least? Also not happening. So good dodges from Go Next all around. But no kill. Oh, there's the wall stun. Tyrael gets hit there hard. I'm looking at that lineup and I'm thinking, if I would have a free punch against anyone, who would I hit? Who would I punch? You don't want to punch Granny. That gets you in trouble on Twitter immediately. You're going to get cancelled so quickly if you go for Granny there. Diablo? Yeah, Lord of Terror? Nah. Hanzo? Maybe. I mean, honestly, I would probably like go for either Hanzo or Tyrael. One of the two. Malfurion, nah, you're gonna get your hand all dirty and mossy, and then you gotta clean it later on. Sylvanas, like my girl, Blaze, it's just your hand's gonna hurt if you hit the Damo. That's not gonna be a thing either. Jimmy is just going to lower the visor on the helmet, and you're gonna have the same problem. Genji, maybe. Now, it's definitely gonna be Tyrael or Hanzo. So yeah, if you are Diablo and you get one of those wall stuns, then those are the targets. They are going for Jimmy instead, but you look for Dibbles. He has no problems. He's going straight up for Genji. He's replaying the trailer when D.Va was announced. Do you remember that bullshit bait and switch? When all of a sudden we have like that massive video coming in, and it's just that massive battle. It's Diablo against Genji. That eternal battle. Diablo coming in, you know, just using the claw and just like dropping him into the wall. And then all of a sudden it's like, doo-doo-doo, and D.Va flies in, and everybody was like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I don't know. That one was pretty crazy. But yeah, if you get a wall stun in, if you get one on, this is exactly, you know, the kind of like beating that I'm thinking about when Diablo is charging someone into a wall. That's exactly the picture that I have in my head. And I think you want to hit either Hanzo with that or Tyrael. One of the two. Anyways, so we got 1 kill to 0. It's pretty uneventful thus far. We have one objective that was taken. Dibbles is again looking for stuns, but the angle wasn't quite perfect. Well, the stun wasn't long enough. They get the objective, and well, the objective in this case was the camp, so I guess it's still true. The objective itself is now up on the map, and this time Jimmy is a little bit quicker towards the middle, but he will have to invade on the other side, so he's not going to do that. And since both of them are so close to level 10, we're not going to see any plays until the heroic abilities are in. So yeah, nobody's doing that. It's the objective instead that they're going to go for. So yeah, here we have it. And what do we get? I guess Sanctification is up again. The Dragon Blade already. Pretty much the ults that you would expect so far, without exception. Unless Tyrael is going for Judgment. Again, we've seen it from the Hardos multiple times with Leap going for some sniper comms. In this case, do you really want to go for it? I'm not so sure, but he could put some enormous pressure onto Ana. That's definitely true. Banana H is already in the backline. He's just thinking, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to sleep dart you into oblivion. But Tyrael, wait, he's threatening it. He's really threatening it here. And Granny doesn't like that at all. Look where Banana H stands. He's seeing that he didn't pick a talent yet. And Banana is just saying, fuck that. I'm not going to move out. It's Sanctification. No judgment here. Banana H, you can just imagine him on his snowflake there. It's like, whoo, dodge the bullet, baby. No attacks against me. But there wasn't an X-Strike connected with it either. So yeah. So for now, it's all about the Immortal again. We got the level 10 abilities. That means we can get some combos with a good arrow straight into the Apocalypse if they can land that. Jet Propulsion would of course also set up the Apocalypse quite nicely if you can get multiple targets. And talking about targets, Genji gets attacked already, but he's protected. They're making the play for Gia, and he is low. Doesn't like that. Yeah, Gia is turning at the front line into a punching ball a little bit. It's a fast healing punching ball with a lot of hit points though. Another wall stun. Nice! The silence is in as well. Nicely done, but then the defense was ready. They allowed Tyrael to get back out and he drops the Sanctification. Another stun. Gia just has enough of this shit. He comes in, gets the kill, the counter kill against Blaze, but they're not stopping yet. No, they want more. One hero down on each side. Tyrael is dead, so is Blaze. A 4 versus 4 is now shaping up, but let's check those kills out again. Look at it. First he just moves out, Gia just tries to retreat, Diablo comes in with a stun with the APOC. That's the kill against Tyrael, and then Blaze gets murdered a second later. Initially the setup with the Wailing Arrow was really solid against Tyrael, but the red team was ready to help out and buy him a bit of time to get the Sanctification through. Now at the bottom of the map, Genji has to deal with the attack so that the 4 doesn't fall. We are still having a slight advantage for the red team as they chunk down a huge amount of HP on the blue team's Immortal, but the fight is not over by any means now. So, off we go. Once again, they're going for Tyrael. Diablo hates Tyrael. I wonder why. And Blade is jumping into the Space Goat. Once again, Dibbles completing the quest. Halftime show. A small victory. Small victory for the red team, but that fight isn't over. This fight is not over, no. They're trying to make the play for it, but where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? Jimmy is at the bottom again. Jimmy is at the bottom. and he gets the damage out. So they're trying to defend instead, but it's getting a little bit dicey here. The arrow, short distance arrow, jet propulsion, everything on Malfurion, and then in comes Tyrael and just says, no, not happening. Another APOC, holy shit. They are blowing all the ults, but they just cannot get those kills. And Wit, dude, what the hell? These sanctifications, once again, absolutely on point. And now they're going for the Immortal, and they grab it. But check this Sanct out. Have a look at this one. I mean, check it out. Everything is hitting Malfurion. Short distance arrow for the stun, the jet propulsion, and then Tyrael jumps in and is like, no, not happening, baby. Not happening. Drops the ult, and what an awesome play. Wit on that hero has seriously done work in game number 3 and game number 4. If we are going to a 5th map, I wouldn't be shocked if they ban Tyrael out. If they just say, yeah, sorry bro, but we're done with this shit. Fantastic play from him. Saving Malfurion, that was the one thing that saved them the Immortal, won them the entire fight. And now, despite the fact that we have a kill advantage for Chili Mountain, it is level 13 on both sides, and the first fort that drops is on the blue side of the map. This is one of those games where 12 minutes in, we only have 3 kills, but you can really see how both of the teams are just like playing it on razor's edge in the attempt to make sure that they are winning this one. Chili Mountain, they don't want to go game 5. They want to end it. They want to end it right here. But it's not really happening so far. And yeah, it makes it a bit tricky. Because Go Next is doing everything they can. I mean, I'm serious. I said in game number 3, I feel like they woke up. The caffeine finally kicked in or something. Urel, by the way, also not going for the Divine Steed here on level 7, as you might have already noticed. They're instead going for Berghold. Jet propulsion kind of blocked. Bunker up. Forced into the ult. And down here, we got Urel up against Diablo. Yeah, Devils once again. This is a cool game. I like it. Okay, Blade is jumping out, but they're trying to at least get a fort. And thanks to Sylvanas, they're going to grab it because 2 of the heroes are topside, so they should have no problem in getting the drop on this one. 1 structure down, nicely done. 14 against 14. Damage output, 36,000 for Genji. And we got 32,000 for Sylvanas. Well, once again, he has the attack. Let's go. Genji is down. Okay. Yeah, clearly the fault of the support. I mean, he needed healing and he didn't get anything. So, blame Malfurion in that case. They go for the camp. So it was a good move from Chili Mountain. Not only does it help them catch up in experience a bit, but taking that camp away from the opponent's team is of course also worth a lot for the next objective. They still got to deal with this though, because their gate is taking damage as we speak. They have their own camp also up on the other side, but while we have one of the heroes splitting off top side to deal with the wave, we have the rest of them trying to go for some immortal damage. But of course they know where everybody is. I mean, vision is there and Blaze has been visible on the minimap. Therefore, they're going for this. Oh, by the way, the minimap is this thing down here. You can download that. The minimap DLC is installed from all of these players, which means that they can look at this thing and then know where other people are. So a Storm League sometimes doesn't have that. If your Heroes client doesn't have it, then I recommend downloading a little bit more RAM. And while we're at it, download the minimap DLC. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Kappa. Okay, so with level 16 talents kicking in any second now, we have our next fight coming up. And I'm just looking at Wit. I want to see what Tyrael is pulling off again this time. So, let's go. Yeah, everybody is just looking for experience for level 16 and then for the fight. Domination is in. Yeah, and let's have a party here. With that, we got immediately the focus, the Will of the Forsaken. They capitalize on even the smallest window with level 16 to get a lead, and they nearly have the halftime show secured for themselves now. Pain and Red on Jimmy, all locked into a corner. A poke! The arrow, beautiful arrow against 3, and 0 goes down. The interrupt on the ult of Tyrael on the Sanctification was incredible. That interrupt was fantastic. That was so good. And now they're killing him as well. They interrupted the Sanctification twice in that fight. 2 times. Check that fight out. Have a look at that fight. Tyrael gets interrupted on the Sanctification, then the arrow hits, and they are just cleaning house. perfectly played here. Chili Mountain, finally the control that they needed, and now they get rewarded. It's 6 kills to 1. They locked in 3 kills in the last encounter, and that gives them not only an experience lead, but also a massive immortal. Woo, baby! We're looking at 100% shield right now through the top lane. So that was great. And they interrupted it twice. It was not only the one time that they interrupted the Sanctification, but after that they interrupted it a second time, and that led to the kill against Teriel. So yeah, it was pretty solid. Okay, so now we got the push through the top, and this one should hurt. This one should really hurt. I mean, the fort is a foregone conclusion. The question is, what do you get after that? We're 16 minutes in. It's not really late game yet, but we should see the keep. I mean, I think they can take it. With Sylvanas in the mix? I mean, hell yeah. So now we got 41,000 damage already on her. You can see how Go Next is trying to push a bit past the Immortal to force the fight so that they can then afterwards defend it. They put pressure onto Marke. Already the arrow fired out as well. Sylvanas, but it's Diablo that dies. Dibbles is down. Beautiful defense by Go Next. Nicely done. And that should save them from the worst here. Yeah, that should actually help them a lot. Diablo's already on his way back to business, but now the wall has fallen, the shield is down, and they're not going to lose the keep. That was a really good defense. That was a very, very good defense here, so nicely done. With that, they are able to save their keep, and I gotta be honest, I did not think that would be possible for them. So now they're at least in a position where they only lost their forts. So it's still fairly even in structures. Yes, there's a difference at the bot lane, but that's about it. It's more of a concern that they are now an entire level ahead, because that level 20 talent is going to be quite sexy. Blade is jumping in though. They're trying to come in here. Yeah, bunkers up. And nano boosted Sylvanas with a bit of damage against Blade. Blade. The Space Goat is dead. The Sanctification is too late. They try to turn it. Marke is jumping in again. And even with the tranquility of Skynox Malfurion, that doesn't work. Big arrow is missing again. Ooh, beautiful one. Yeah, that one was a work of art. Nicely dodged, by the way. If that arrow connects with Malfurion, then of course that's another kill. But they saw it coming and they simply dodged out on it. The arrow cam caught it all. 57,000 damage on Genji. 50,000 on Hanzo. And now with a 5 versus 4 and half a level missing until 20. Chili Mountain, they are running the show. They want to end this right now. And they have a pretty good shot of doing that, because they will have a level 20 when the next Immortal is on the map. Easily. 7 kills to 2. A camp to be taken topside. The wave to be destroyed. They're going to lock in the Storm Talons. And then what is the red team supposed to do? They got to fight. I mean, there's nothing that the red team can do. They can't allow the Immortal to be taken with 100% shield this late in the game. They have to fight here at some point. And they won't be able to do anything else there either. And with anything else, I pretty much mean they won't be able to come in and simply defend, you know, like with level 20 or Soak level 20. So, yeah, this is going to be rough for them. Especially since the arrow here connects. But that didn't do anything, because Gia wasn't in a position where he could provide the wall stun. They don't have to, though. They can simply go for the objective now. Alright. I mean, again, if your opponent fights here, then you're Gucci. Now, of course, you have to keep the Immortal stuns in mind. But outside of that, you're golden. Yeah, here comes again the another engage into the jet propulsion, wall stun, and the ult is out. And that's not only true for URL, but also for Malfurion. I gotta say that this camp at the top side is a threat, though. Now we have one at the bottom of the map that gets attacked right now. They're going for the objective again, but they're getting a little bit closer than I expected. Go Next is really closing the gap in experience very quickly. They're 19.5 now. Halftime show is taken. Let's go. The top side keep is in trouble. Sylvanas is the one to move in for it. Yeah, Sylph is there. He should be able to blow it up pretty quickly. It shouldn't really take too much time. Yeah, so they can defend it. And now their catapults are, of course, pushing. But that camp definitely bought some time for Go Next, as they're trying to lock the objective in. They're doing way better here than expected. They're still lacking the level 20 talent, guys. They're still lacking it. They're doing well. Ooh, another arrow missing. Yeah, honestly, today is not the day for arrows. Azerite, he has been talking about how he saved the best arrows for the next game, and, well, apparently he didn't. He's saving them for game 5, I suppose. Nah, they're throwing them out, but especially Malfurion is dodging those bad boys every time. So, right now, we got 7 kills to 2. We got 59,000 damage for Genji, and at the same time 59,000 for Hanzo as well. The Shimada brothers are leading the charge. And now that level 20 is available for both teams, we have the push coming through the bot lane with the Immortal. And of course now, you kind of want to have the keep, and more so you want to have the core. But can they get the kills here? That's the question. Because for now, the dragon becomes me. Seraphim is in. And it's party time. Yeah, Uriel can jump in as well. Blade is already hopping in and out here, as he's always baiting G a little bit. Nice! The wall's done, but they cannot follow up on it, and therefore Tyrael still has the sanctification up, the battle arena. Here comes, oh my god, the 45 bomb the kill! The dragon, zippity zip, as Genji comes in with one hit after another. Hanzo down, Diablo down. The keep is about to fall, but the defense is once again strong. Granny gets murdered, Berkul gets attacked too. That's the end of Blaze. What the hell? What's going on here? That last fight, the Hellgate into side push by Diablo, trying for the wall stun, no follow-up. They couldn't go for Tyrael. Now the core is getting attacked, but of course the Immortal should be defended. 78%, that's it. And in the meantime, Go Next just says, guys, let's go core. Go Next, quite literally. Let's go core, let's go game, and they are actually pulling it off. You gotta be fucking kidding me. We're going game 5. We are going game 5. They win the team fight at the end, and they decided in their favor. We are going the full distance in this series. What's going on? It is happening. Game number 5 coming up. Go Next. They win on Battlefield of Eternity against Chili Mountain and force the 5th map in this Heroes of the Storm series. Not gonna lie, I didn't believe in it. Especially after the first 2 maps, I thought Chili Mountain is gonna lock this in with a 3-0. Then map 3 happens, I'm like, yeah, they kind of woke up. Go Next is all of a sudden here, they put a point on the scoreboard. But deep down, I thought that eventually on Battlefield of Eternity, at some point, Chili Mountain would flip the switch and would take it. Again, I remind you just quickly that the first time that these 2 teams played in this season, this is the rematch, that Chili Mountain won it with a 3-0. And now Go Next all of a sudden has won 2 maps, and they did really well on that last encounter. It was an Immortal push for Chili Mountain. Go Next comes in with another stellar defense. They don't lose Tyrael. They are able to turn it around, and as predicted, Tyrael gets banned. Told you. After what Wit pulled off in the last 2 games, of course that's going to be a ban on him. But I'm impressed that we now really see the 5th map between those 2. And that is more bad news for Chili Mountain. I don't know how to say this, but it's great for Go Next. But for Chili Mountain, put yourself in their shoes for just a second. Starting into the season, everybody expected Chili Mountain to be within the top 4. Maybe even make it into the top 3. And the entire story was pretty much, okay, Chili Mountain, they are a top 4 team. They are pushing into the top 3, can they do it? And instead we saw them just fall of grace. It was a fall of grace the entire time here. They got murdered by some of the teams they shouldn't have lost to. They lost maps to teams they shouldn't have lost to. And all of a sudden they are in 5th spot, they're in 6th spot. So it's like a really weird situation. And Soundless instead is pushing into the top 4. And now that the second part of the season starts, you kind of expect the opposite to happen, right? Chili Mountain comes in and they are trying to finally, you know, like get it together and get into that top 4 again. But now, against the number 7 in the standings, they are really, really struggling. And they might lose the series here. Now, we have, of course, a couple of the heroes that are banned out right now are definitely target bans. You look at Fawcett again here on Sky Temple, it's clearly targeting Makia and Azerite. Wits, Tyrael has been banned out. Banana H didn't hesitate for a second after Uther wasn't banned and made sure that he gets his Uther. And we finally have a Medivh pick. So Zul for all the wave clear and Medivh. And that can be nasty because you have Zul rotating between lanes and just taking down all of the minion waves, securing the experience for you. Medivh can help with quick rotations too. We get at least Diva and also Jimmy. Keep in mind that a lot of the fights that we're seeing on this map are coming down to a battle over the boss, eventually. Eventually you're going to see that boss battle. It's going to happen. Unless the game is really weird, you're gonna see the fight over the boss. One team might just take it because they have no other choice left. They need to take the battle, or the other team says, hey, now we have an advantage and we're going to try and force our opponent into a fight over there. So a little bit of boss control with D.Va, with a bomb, with maybe a good ley line goes a long way. Bans on Cassia, ban on Diablo. Yeah, no Diablo for him this time. It's not only Tyrael that played well, but our Diablo player on the side of Chili Mountain was also a little bit tricky. So there's that. And what's the choice now? Come on, I want to see something here. Malfurion and Muradin. No main tank Zul. I expected the main tank with Zul, but no, we get the dwarf. So Muradin is coming in. And yeah, it's Team Beard, by the way. Look at this. The Beard Boys. Malfurion, Zul with a little goatee over here, and even Medivh is rocking one, so yeah, everybody with a beard. Okay, so let's see what the last pick is gonna be. Team Facial Hair, and we get Zeratul plus Nuburak. Alright, so they're gonna die for this one. Zeratul with a Divine Shield could be totally terrifying, and Nuburak with a good Cocoon is of course also an option. We still need a solid damage dealer for the team in red. So far they have nothing. And they don't have any range damage to speak of either. I mean, Medivh, of course, can chunk in some damage. That's not going to be enough. And there he is. Tychus, the Renegade, everyone. Sky Temple, map 5 in our Heroes of the Storm series at the Masters Clash. Playday number 8. The second half of the season has just started, and it's an exciting one. Every single match that we had thus far was awesome. And here we're heading into the 5th map, Sky Temple, so let's go. Chili Mountain against Go Next, the final map in the series. On the left side, Backhult on D.Va, Azerite on Zeratul. Then we got Mako on Reyna, Gia on Nuburak, and Banana H on Uther. On the right side of the map, though, Go Next with Skynox on Malfurion. Kelvin is playing Tychus, Blade on Murden, Zero on Medivh, and Wit on Azul. Okay, let's get the party started. We already got the Exterminator in over here. Interesting. So we're going to see a bit more focus on camps and also the boss here from him. By the way, Tychus, he kind of screwed the beer band up. A little bit unfortunate. The only one without a beard. So, yeah. It's also kind of surprising that Tychus is actually clean shaven. I never thought about it until now. But yeah, it's happening. Maybe all that radiation that he got, you know, sitting in one of those suits did also do a trick on him. But, well, either way. So let's check this out. This could be a reverse sweep. So far, we had Go Next taking 2 in a row. So as it comes down to the final map in this series, there is an opportunity for Go Next to pull off a reverse sweep, which would be incredible. Medivh portal is already set up. There's of course a bit of control. Very likely Gia is going to go into the bed of barbs on level 4 to have some additional slows that makes it harder for people to enter the portals. We have D.Va for that too. I talked a bit earlier about how you want to have some heroes that are good against portals. Just execute some portal control. If you have stuns, if you have any kind of displacement, that's always kind of neat to have. We have, for example, in this case also D.Va in play, so that helps a bit too. Nuburak so far hasn't made a choice yet on level 1, so we're going to keep our eye on that as well. And in the meantime, as we're starting all of this up, guys, once again, if you're watching the video on YouTube right now and you like the show, then make sure that you hit the like button hard. And also YouTube, they just released a new feature, and apparently my channel is eligible for that. So if you like the video, like the commentary and the production and everything, you can applaud the video now and support the videos individually. So always appreciate it, and thank you very much for all the people that have already done that in the past. So appreciate it a lot, and it helps to keep all the coverage up here. So thanks a lot, guys. And if you want to do that, just check out your video player. There should be a button right underneath it. But either way, as we are now slowly starting to head into the first objective, 30 seconds left as the first one gets announced, we have on level 4 at least, the Sledgehammer kicking in. So he's really just looking at completing his baseline a bit quicker. He's not really interested into too much of the damage with the Perfect Storm as a level 1 talent choice. Up at the top, we already have a bit of a battle happening as the 2 mercenary camps have been taken, but the blue team went ahead and took theirs earlier, so they were able to push in some of the structures. So Chili Mountain is at least initially doing fairly well here. On the stacks, Medivh doesn't have a whole lot. He had 1 stack until now, and he just hit a second one, but that slows it down for Zero quite a bit. Tychus also is still at 0. has gone into In the Rhythm as his level 4 talent choice, whereas Zeratul is of course going into the auto attack style that we're oftentimes seeing here, coming straight in with a Shadow Hunter as his level 1 choice, and is going to go into the Might of the Nerazim and level 10, trying to attack the backline, threatening Malfurion and Medivh in particular. And by now, we also have still all that wave clear for Zul that is now going to play a role as the 2 temples are announced, because he's going to be the one rotating between the lanes. I guess Zeratul is going to try and play against him a little bit, but he's a bit late to the party already, so that's a bit of a problem, because Zul is now doing tons of damage at the bot lane. I mean, he is really slicing and dicing this one. So it's a bit of an issue. He has pretty much everything down to 50% HP. Wit still gets attacked, but there's also double control on the temples for now. So Chile Mountain is at least doing well on that front. They have a Nubarak in the middle, and at the top they've been doing well too. So they've been soaking a lot of these shots. Good for them. But now that we have 4 heroes focusing on this, it's finally being grabbed by Go Next. The level 7 kicks in. Still the rotation. Wit has to go for the very, very safe one. But Azerite is here and is interrupting him even on that point. Yeah, it seems like Wit still wants to fight this back, and Zeratul all of a sudden is like, well, maybe I should think about this again. Might not be the smartest choice that I'm making here. 20 stacks also for Tychus, so we got that. Finally we're able to get some miniguns through. But Blade misses the Stormbolt. That's unfortunate for him. You might have noticed already that they switched roles a bit, because Blade is now playing as a main tank on Muradin, and I've been talking during the draft a bit that I'm surprised that they lock in Muradin, because Wit usually plays Zul as a main tank, and they still wanted to have Zul, but it's not really a hero that Blade plays a lot, but Blade has of course played a lot of tanks, so they're just simply switching this up a bit on the roles, and that allows Wit to make the rotation happen, but they still have a proper frontliner that can then get the damage in. And talking about getting damage in, structural damage has already been dished out by Chili Mountain, and a fair bit of that. They're not heavily adding experience, but they're still having a slight advantage here. Medivh is of course cheating as usual, aka he's providing vision. Just moving over here and making sure that he knows exactly where especially Nubarak positions himself. I was, by the way, wrong on the level 4 talent, so no better barbs against the portals. Instead we're getting the Shed Exoskeleton here. So wants to be a bit more mobile in that case, and not really looking at slowing people down that are trying to reach a portal or get away from one. 19 stacks for Muradin, so Sledgehammer is definitely doing some work for him. 14 stacks for Malfurion. The problem with Malf is always that once level 10 hits, it's so much harder to really stack without being too passive. So he's gonna have to play it a bit safe here. And we'll see if eventually he can complete his quest talent and reap the rewards or not. Zeratul, on the other hand, he is very, very close. He only needs 2 more and then he's good to go. He went on level 7 then again into the Warp Skirmisher, so a little bit of a different setup. It allows him though for more wave clear, and since he seems to be the one that has to deal with Zul in a lot of these situations, it's probably an adjustment that he made for that particular case, just so that he has that as an option. We'll see how that works out for him. Might of the Nerazim is now, of course, ready, and we also got the Divine Shield out. No big surprises yet for the level 10s on Go Next side either. With Muradin going into the Avatar, we got the Sustainability, we got the Skeleton Mages in, and talking about Wit in his Necromancer, he is going for the next camp. Whereas the bottom temple is about to be taken by Chili Mountain, but at least Blade is starting to invade it and be a bit more aggressive around it. Medivh hasn't made a choice yet. I mean, you could literally go Leyline into Twilight Dream, but I would kind of expect that Skynox is going into Tranquility again to give them a sustainability. But there's still the option that he decides that he wants to follow up on Medivh's ult. But no, there's Tranquility. Takes it, quest completed for Zeratul. 1 versus 1 at the top side. Cocoon is out, but thanks to the portals, they get away once again. Yeah, and Azerite and his level 7, told you already, he has a bit of additional wave clear that he can now bring to the table, and allows him to keep up with Zul at least a little bit. Gia down here, whew, he got attacked hard. Quest is completed for Muradin really early in the game. And that means that he's now in the position where he has the cooldown reduction and he has the PS. And look at the body block against Banana H. Full-on body block against him, but he still gets out. The Diva explosion forced Blade to give up the position. Didn't want to be attacked here. They're soaking the final shots. Not a single kill on this map yet. Not 1 kill. It comes down to map number 5 and they are playing it super safe the entire time here. Nobody wants to be the one to lose the game because they have a hero out of position that gets quickly sniped before an objective or a team fight. They are all playing around the macro here. Muradin threatening Stormbolts through a portal with a jump. 17,000 damage for Tychus. 18 for Jimmy. Yeah, it's a Marine against the Fire Bat that we're seeing. Okay. Marauder action over here. Let's go. Yeah, no Fire Bat in this one. But in comes Tychus. So, off they go. Yeah, we got our StarCraft battle. StarCraft battle is in. Wit gets body blocked, and Wit is in real trouble now. There's nobody to help him, and that's a kill. Nice. They tag team him hard, but that also results in the bottom camp taken away. So the Siege Giants at least are lost, but of course the two heroes topside don't really stop after they take down Zul. Nope, they are pushing for structures, and structural damage is everything on this map. It's literally everything. If you have structural damage coming through by simple attacks and without going for the temple, then eventually you're going to do way better on all of those moves. Stun comes out, there's the clans, and Blade walks away. Nicely done by Blade and Skynox to escape. Top side, we have Zero defending the fort, but they still have taken some damage here. And the bottom of the map doesn't really look too good either. Good, at least some stacks for Kelvin, but they will have to retreat eventually, and that's the end of the fort. So with one kill and the drop on the fort, Chili Mountain is doing fairly okay for themselves. Blade being a bit aggressive here. Are they going to follow this? They are trying. They are trying. And he went into Avatar. Goes into Avatar, misses the Stormbolt. I think it was out of range. And Zul dies again, top against the same combo. Dies against the same two heroes. And that is now 2 kills against 0. A 1-level lead. First 4 down. The one in the mid lane low. And thanks to the shots that are going to be fired soon through the bottom temple, this one is going to fall. I mean, it's not only the bottom. They have the control in the middle too. Go next. It's their map choice. And they are falling apart a little bit. They're currently falling slightly apart here. This is getting nasty because that's way too many structures lost. All of the forts are down. Every single one of them. And Chili Mountain has all of them still in play. That is a disaster on Sky Temple. That's really, really bad. You need a teamfight victory at this point. I mean, finally one fort falls bot side, but in the middle they're attacking Wit again, and Azerite is not going to be alone for long because Gia is already close by, so they're trying to go for him, and Wit barely makes it out by using the portal. But the situation hasn't really changed too much. The experience lead is there, mid lane got attacked, the entire wall is already gone. Down here, they're at least attempting to go for Azerite, so if they maybe can make a play, but no, not quite. 24 stacks for Medivh. I'm a little bit worried. There's a lot of wave clear for Go Next, that's definitely true. And we've seen it before. You look over to Zul, and he's at 109,000 already, which is amazing for him. Going for a camp, as does D.Va, both of them. But you can see Zeratul roaming on the map even further, and he is forcing Wit off. He's forcing someone else to come up top and help him, and that's where Zero is currently headed. Final shots are fired, so that's some extra damage here in the middle. D.Va is also timing that camp and takes it just at the same time as we have Zul make the commitment for their team. Benediction is now in. And it's nasty. Boss is still up, and everybody's checking. Zero is always flying over there in bird form. The level 16 talents are by now available for Chili Mountain, so that's going to put a bit of a damper on any aggression that Go Next was trying to push off here. Epicenter is ready on level 16, and in addition to that we also have the Master Warblade, and they're going for the top again, and Wit is about to die once more. Survives a little bit longer, but these double tags are just a problem. Azerite roaming and helping out D.Va every now and then in these 1 versus 1s is a huge issue. Zul, I mean, the problem is that Zul is coming in, you know, he's an honorable necromancer. He comes in and says like, well, I respect the 1v1. But then we got full-on monkey style Zeratul coming in and saying like, nope, we're going full Alex the Pro G Snail today, and we don't respect the 1 versus 1. 3 kills to 0, and that's an immediate trigger for the boss. They're trying to go for it. And that should be a win. But there's the ley line, dodging out on it. Nice, Sleep Dart is in. They're getting the control, and they get the kill. The boss is taken, Muradin is gone, and that is a huge problem now. Yeah, they want to get another one, and Skynox is in trouble. Malfurion gets isolated, and he gets killed as well. If they can drop Zero, then that's the end of all his stacks, but he has to push through the bot lane. And of course, there's the kill. Look at the ley line. Ley line is dodged out, then they turn it around, they take the boss, they take the kill. and they push it even further. Nicely done. The Cocoon on Malfurion sets another kill up, and now we got the boss pushing through the bottom of the map. It's 5 kills to 0. Chili Mountain, they're finally done. They are starting to come in with the damage at the bottom keep. Double temple active, single temple activating in just another moment. And it is looking fantastic for Chili Mountain. So much structural damage done already. And thanks to Azerite capping the temple in the middle, the keep is getting attacked. And if they get the entire duration, and this one is going to be the first one to fall. There's Siege Giants pushing through the bot lane. Catapults are here. Jimmy is taking another Siege Giant camp. So there's going to be pressure all over the place. Bottom keep is getting attacked. Mid keep is getting attacked. Red team is desperately trying to hold on to the temple at least. But it's just way too much. I mean, look at D.Va. She's protecting the double Siege Giant camp at the bottom. Maka is now coming in to secure a few more shots in the middle. It's even talents, but what does that help you? Verkult should easily be able to make it out. Blade is trying to flank in, but Banana H is so close that even if they could drop the mech, the Divine Shield would save him. And yeah, Zeratul pushes the top side. That's going to be the final few shots that are being hit here. And the keep is down. A bit of a fight in the middle, but also the bot lane is still being pressured. It's not only the top side where Zeratul is doing his thing, but at the bottom of the map, the Siege Giants are pressuring more, so Zul has to move in and deal with it. And that just puts an end to any kind of aggression here in the middle. Medivh just flying around, stationary bird. And instead, Blade has to hop out. Went also into a 16 jump. Nearly level 20 now for them. There's the ley line. That's a desperation move right here, and it's just not working out. They were hoping that they can hit the... Oh my god. Now Zul comes in with this ult too. Yeah, they are trying hard. The whole idea is fight before they hit level 20. That's why they're YOLOing out abilities like they're a dime a dozen. This isn't Walmart, baby. This is a 2-for-1 sale. They are trying to do what they can, but those ults, they matter. And throwing them out like candy is not going to be a solution here. They wanted to force the fight, and you can understand why. Because once 20 hits, it's going to be nearly impossible for them to get an even playing field for a long time. But still, that's a problem. 34,000 right now, 32,000 for Tychus, and here it is. Storm Talons are ready. And with that, we got the Shadow Stride. They're trying to hunt Anubarak down a little bit, but they're not going to get him. And Anubarak also with the rewind now. Here comes Azerite, and they're all stacked up. Bot lane keep is under pressure too, as Catapults are mounting up to push against it. 5 kills to 0, big jump. There's also the Tranquility out. They're going to wait it out a little bit. And everybody else is still rushing away. But this does not change. Catapults are coming in. This one's going to be destroyed. They need to deal with it. At the top side is another one pressuring. And we're going to see... actually, the keep is not going to get too much damage because, well, as it happens, this one is going to get attacked eventually. But Azerite is now holding this, and that means that the bot keep is going to be gonzo one way or another. Yeah, 38 stacks for Medivh. He's getting close to completing this quest, but I don't think that's going to be what changes the outcome of all of this. Zul is going for another camp, but the shots are being fired, and Zeratul can now move away. So the keep is not exposed yet, but top side we see a similar picture. Banana H is going for another channel there too, and he's slowly chipping off the hit points of the last remaining tower here. And on the minimap, you can really tell that Go Next is just running from one side of the map to the next. They're just moving from side to side in an attempt to somehow catch up here and maybe get a kill. But instead, Azerite is coming in and starts to solo Malfurion. Yeah, moves in against Zero, who doesn't have his quest completed yet. Leyline, nope. And that's a quick move away from Gia. As the bottom keep is getting even more damage. They're getting a bit of an attack here in the middle. Even the Skeleton Mages have been YOLO'd out. And that's the attack against both of the keeps as they're now about to fall. One more hit and the final one is going to be eliminated too. Azerite is moving away here. 97%. The core has been hit by some of the catapult shots in the middle now too. And yeah, it's kind of getting crazy. So for now, we got Azerite doing his thing, getting not only the kills in, but also helping with the camps that they're trying to take. Now Zeratul making a move down to the bottom of the map, and look how many shots are left there. It's kind of it's nasty. I mean, this could literally end the game. You have shots coming in against the core. They need to do something about that. That's why they sent Muradin down. Blade is the one dealing with the Zeratul. But you also have catapults that are already homing in on the core. It's impossible to win this any longer for Go Next. They would have to go for some kind of 5-man team wipe. It's not only them playing well. Chili Mountain would have to fuck up royally in order to lose this one. If they just solo into the core one after another and just lose all 5, then maybe, but not the way this is going. I mean, there's not even level 20 for Go Next. Muradin is down at the bottom of the map as Zeratul takes another one down. He's got to be able to channel the final shots over here. They try to go for Medivh. Quest completed. Time to feed, baby. Down goes Zul, and Malfurion is dead too. The shots are fired, the core is on 22%, and here comes Zeratul making his way in. Go Next, they had a good run, they had a great run, but let's be honest, this is going to be a 3-2 victory for Chili Mountain. They won the first 2, lost 2 in a row, but at the end of the day, they still lock in the best of 5 victory. Still a good performance by Go Next, but Chili Mountain solidifies the win.